Chapter 1494. Damn. It's been a long time since someone dared to threaten me. Zhang Kuku. Hurry up and threaten me a few more times. It's so satisfying to hear. Gao Hu's eyes rolled back, but the depression in his heart made him forget about the pain in his body. He had never seen a woman as perverted as Zhang Kuku. Seeing that Gao Hu was about to be stomped to death, Qin Feng pulled Kuku back. He didn't care about Gao Hu's life, but he had some questions to ask this guy. If I remember correctly, you're Xingzi of the Gao family? Qin Feng looked at Gao Hu indifferently. He didn't expect this guy to have designs on Han Ying. Gao Hu was scared to death the moment he saw Qin Feng. However, he still pretended to be calm and shouted, Qin Feng, you're done for. Now Taoist Gu has come from Huaxia. He's very powerful. He can kill you in minutes. Our Gao family has already surrendered to Taoist Gu. If you know what's good for you, you better let us go immediately. Gao Hua yelled for a long time. Qin Feng slapped him in the face and almost smacked his head off. I'll answer whatever you ask. Why do you have so much nonsense? An unfamiliar but powerful aura emitted from Qin Feng's body, pressuring Gao Hu into fear. Who is this Taoist Gu you're talking about? Where did he come from? Qin Feng asked. Although Gao Hu was unhappy, he had to answer honestly. Taoist Gu is the great elder of the Absolute sect who came out of seclusion. Rumor has it that he has stepped into stage 7 Qi realm. No one in the entire Huaxia is his match. Even the Dragon God and the Dragon Sect's 12 peaks can't do anything to him. Gao Hu purposely described Taoist Gu as extremely powerful to indirectly intimidate Qin Feng. Of course, Qin Feng knew what this guy was thinking. However, he found it funny. He could kill a group of people at stage 7 Qi realm with one slap. Seeing that Qin Feng didn't speak, Gao Hu thought he was really scared. His expression immediately became arrogant. Qin, you've been away from Huaxia for more than half a year. Most of your power has been taken away by Taoist Gu. Now Huaxia is Taoist Gu's world. If you want to live, obediently surrender to Taoist Gu. Let me go first and become my follower. I can let bygones be bygones, and put in a good word for you in front of Taoist Gu. Gao Hu started chattering again. He made Taoist Gu sound so powerful, which made Han Ying very worried. However, Su Ruoro and the other women were all smiling as they looked at Gao Hu as if they were looking at an idiot. Now that Qin Feng had stepped into the second stage of the immortal Qi realm, he was a man who stood at the peak of the divine continent. In front of Qin Feng, a mere true Qi cultivator was like a baby. That's a pretty good suggestion. Qin Feng pursed his lips and nodded. Gao Hu immediately became excited. He thought that Qin Feng was really afraid of Taoist Gu, but before he could say anything, Qin Feng casually threw a fire blade at him, and Gao Hu's head fell to the ground. However, I have an even better way. Just kill that dog fart Taoist Gu, and everything will be over. Gao Hu couldn't hear Qin Feng's words. He couldn't be more dead. The room was filled with the smell of blood, and Han Ying couldn't stand it. However, Su Ruoro and the other women stood at the side as if nothing had happened. 3 months ago, they saw Qin Feng fight the elite disciples of the Divine Continent sects. Compared to the savagery of that battle, the scene in front of them was much more elegant. Big Sister Ying, sit down and rest. Now that Qin Feng is back, the trouble here will be easily resolved. Su Ruoro helped Han Ying to sit at the side. The women weren't worried about Qin Feng's current strength. Han Ying avoided the bloodstains on the ground. Seeing this, Qin Feng casually sent out a few fireballs. Moments later, the bloodstains, Gao Hu, and the other 4 people disappeared as if they were never there. After cleaning up the battlefield, Qin Feng sat next to Han Ying, as if nothing had happened. He didn't think that so many things would happen in China after he left for half a year. Ying, is what Gao Hu said true? Qin Feng asked softly. Han Ying calmed down a bit and said with a serious expression, Qin Feng, ever since you left, that Taoist Gu started to suppress the factions related to you. Now, he has subdued the martial artist alliance, and many sects in the outer martial world and inner hidden sects have submitted to him. Also, many wealthy families in the capital and some rich families in Acropolis City have submitted to him. Qin Feng and the women were shocked when they heard this. Was Taoist Gu that powerful? In just half a year, He had completely reshuffled the factions in China. The fire in Qin Fen's heart burned even more intensely. He wanted to immediately kill Taoist Gu. Hero City has also fallen? What about the dragon sect? Qin Fen asked worriedly. Han Ying's expression suddenly became resolute. Don't worry, Acropolis City and the outer martial world's Hero City are still holding on. Unless we sisters are no longer in this world, we definitely won't submit to Taoist Gu. That's right, the Ren family's Holy Medic Hall, the Yin family's Divine Armament Hall, the Inner Hidden Sect's Serenity, Ice Lake Mountain, the capital's Lu family, and the Dongfeng family are all holding on. Qin Fen felt slightly comforted. He didn't feel good when he found out that many of the factions that followed him had submitted to him. However, he was satisfied when he found out that the important factions were still on his side. Suddenly, he looked at the pitch-black night outside the window. His eyes shone with a deep flame, and a cold voice rang in his heart. Whoever dares to offend me, Qin Fen, will regret it no matter who you are. Big brother Qin Feng, should we go and kill that bastard now? Zhang Kuku was eager to give it a try. Han Ying said worriedly. Qin Fen, that Taoist Gu seems to be really powerful. Even the Dragon God, and the 12 peaks of the Dragon Sect, are no match for him. I'm afraid of you. Han Ying did not continue, but everyone understood what she meant. Su Ruoro said with a relaxed expression. Big sister Ying, don't worry. Qin Fen is very powerful now. No one in China's secular world is a match for him. The other women nodded. They were completely confident in Qin Fen's strength. However, Han Ying was still a little worried. After all, she did not go to China. She did not see the spectacular scene of Qin Fen defeating the elites of China with her own eyes. Seeing that Han Ying was frowning, Qin Fen was not in a hurry to look for Taoist Gu. He had just brought everyone back, and it was a good opportunity for them to relax tonight. Xiao, this is the outside world. How does it feel? Qin Fen suddenly looked at Hua Xiao. Han Ying was a little confused. She did not understand the situation in China at all. Hua Xiao was already dumbfounded. On the way here, she was shocked by the speeding cars on the street. Now that she saw the magnificent decorations in the house, she felt like it was a palace in heaven. Young Master Qin, the outside world is very exciting, Hua Xiao said shyly. She could not express the shock in her heart. She was afraid that her sisters would despise and laugh at her. Qin Fen said with a smile. Xiao, not bad. You've just arrived in the outside world, and you're already singing the lyrics. Hua Xiao did not understand what Qin Fen meant. She had never heard the song The Outside World. She was just sighing with emotion. The women were amused by her cute and shy look, and could not help but claw at her. Hua Xiao became even more shy. Her pretty face was about to drip water. Han Ying was completely confused. She realized that after Su Ruoro and the others came back from China, there was a generation gap in everyone's topics. Big sister Ying, you really want to know what China is like, right? Hua Yin said with a smile. Han Ying nodded repeatedly. China is just like in ancient times. The means of transportation there are horses. There are no internet or communication devices. There is not even electricity. They rely on fire to illuminate their surroundings. At the mention of China, everyone became spirited. Ren Xian added. Not only that, there are no police there. They still maintain the ancient yamen system. That's right. The hot water for bathing there is thrown into the well tank by sun-warmed stones. Xiao Shi muttered. There are also very few cosmetics there. They are all rouge and foundation from ancient times. The women chatted enthusiastically. Han Ying felt as if she had transmigrated. She looked at everyone in disbelief. She even suspected that these people teamed up to lie to her. However, looking at their serious expressions, it did not seem like they were lying. Qin Fen, is it really like that in the Invincible sect? Han Ying's eyes lit up. She really wanted to go and see. It's like that. Why would we lie to you? Qin Fen said with a smile. It's true. Gee, you must take me there when you have the chance. Han Ying was excited. She even forgot about her recent troubles. Hua Xiao was depressed. She felt that the outside world was too good. The light bulbs were as bright as day. The houses they lived in were so tall that they reached the clouds. They did not even need to walk when they went out. She could not understand why big sister Ying would want to go to China. That night, the women gathered together and chatted about China. Han Ying listened with great interest. She wanted to go there immediately to take a look. They talked until the wee hours of the morning. Everyone was overcome with sleepiness, so they stayed in the royal hotel. The women were very perceptive. They gave Qin to Han Ying. They went to a presidential suite together. The moment Hua Xiao walked into the room, she was almost scared to death by the luxury inside. In another suite, Qin stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling window with a wine glass in hand. He looked down at the scenery of Orchid City. This was the land where he grew up, and every scene brought back many of his memories. Qin, do you want to bathe? Han Ying's voice came from behind him. Qin turned around. She was wearing a thin white muslin dress. Under the dim light, her arrogant figure was faintly discernible. Han Ying had already walked to the floor-to-ceiling window. Qin hugged her in his arms and blew hot air into her ear. What if I don't want to bathe? Han Ying felt as if she had been electrocuted. Her fair neck instantly turned red. She had missed Qin every moment of the past half a year. Now that Qin was finally back, the fire in Han Ying's heart exploded. She suddenly pushed Qin away. She faced the floor-to-ceiling window and placed her hands on the glass. She bent down and turned her back to Qin. Then I'll punish you with no rest tonight. Looking at the pair of long legs under her dress, Qin's evil fire burned. A battle that would last through the night began. Remember the website. Sandwich Chinese Network. Chapter 1495. Qin is back. They came with dignity and glory. The land of Huaxia had been in a deep slumber for half a year because of his departure. From this moment on, a storm was about to be set off. In a large private courtyard in Acropolis City, the Gao family was eating breakfast together. This mansion was the Gao family's new residence. It was developed by a large real estate company under Royal Group. However, that real estate company had been bought by the Gao family, so this mansion naturally became the Gao family's territory. Old master, our Gao family has followed the right person this time. Ever since we submitted to perfected Gu, the Gao family's situation has changed overnight. At the dining table, everyone from the Gao family was beaming. Gao Hu's father smiled and said, "Second brother is right. Our Gao family was originally one of Acropolis City's unranked families. Who would have thought that after following Taoist Gu, we would become the #1 family in Acropolis City? As long as we continue to follow Taoist Gu, we'll become one of the top families in Huaxia sooner or later." Everyone nodded in agreement with the words of the Gao family's eldest son and second son. Old Master Gao sat at the head of the long table, unable to conceal his pleased expression. He was the one who had seized the opportunity and led the Gao clan to seek refuge with Taoist Gu. However, at this moment, someone suddenly said, "We dominated Acropolis City and took away many of the Qin family's businesses. If Qin comes back, there won't be any problems, right?" As soon as these words came out, the originally cheerful atmosphere immediately froze. A few of them glared coldly at the man who spoke, scaring him into immediately shutting his mouth. Elder Gao said, "Humph, isn't it just Xing whose surname is Qin? What is there to be afraid of? Right now, rumors in Huaxia are spreading like wildfire that he died in the forbidden sect. Are you still afraid that he will turn into a ghost and haunt you?" Second brother Gao immediately echoed. "Besides, even if Na Xing is still alive, we have Taoist Gu to back us up. Why should we be afraid of him? Perfected Gu has defeated the divine dragon and the 12 peaks of the Dragon Gate. He is already at the pinnacle of martial arts in China." At the mention of Taoist Gu, everyone from the Gao family felt a surge of confidence. Everyone knew that Qin was very powerful, but they felt that Taoist Gu was even more powerful. After that incident, no one dared to casually mention Qin name. Halfway through the meal, Gao Long suddenly frowned and said, "Huh? Where's my fare? Why didn't you come for breakfast?" Gao Hu's father looked around and confirmed that his son wasn't here. Second brother Gao said, "I haven't seen Gao Hu since last night. Did he go somewhere to play?" The Gao family knew Gao Hu very well. Na Xing was always idling around and having fun. It was normal for him to not return for a few days and nights. Gao Long didn't think too much about it and continued to eat. But at this moment, an indifferent voice came from outside the door. Gao who won't appear again because I've burned him to ashes. Voila! The people who were eating immediately burst into an uproar. They looked out of the door in anger. The Gao family had advanced by leaps and bounds, and was now the #1 family in Acropolis City. They were famous even in the capital. The Gao family couldn't figure out who would dare to cause trouble for them at this time. However, when the crowd's gazes landed on the young man in white standing at the door, their eyes and jaws dropped to the ground. He's Qin Feng. Someone finally came back to his senses. Instantly, dozens of Gao family members at the dining table stood up in unison and looked at Qin Feng, as if they were facing a formidable enemy. Why did you come back? Didn't you die in the extinction sect? Qin, I advise you not to act recklessly. China has changed a long time ago. It's no longer your era. The crowd came back to their senses. They realized that Qin Feng was really back. However, when they thought about Daoist Gu's support, they quickly became arrogant. Qin Feng came alone. He even asked the women to take Huaxiu shopping. Qin Feng alone was enough to deal with trash like Daoist Gu and a bunch of ants who betrayed him. Don't worry. After I destroy the Gao family, I'll go find Daoist Gu and kill him myself. Qin Feng stood in front of the Gao family's main residence like a heavy mountain. His voice was indifferent, as if he was talking about something insignificant. The Gao family members were enraged. Second brother Gao jumped out and shouted, "Humph, you're young and ignorant. Do you think Daoist Gu is easy to defeat? He has already challenged the Dragon God and the 12 Upper Peaks. Those people couldn't even take one move from him. When Daoist Gu finds out that you're back, it'll be your death day." Qin Feng laughed inwardly. Even in China, no one dared to say such arrogant words to him. He waved his hand, and a flame flashed. It was so fast that no one in the Gao family saw what happened. After a while, a few screams came from the crowd. Ah, second brother is gone? Gao Fei, are you crazy? Your second brother is gone. No, it's second brother Gao Hai who's dead. More and more people noticed the abnormality. Second brother Gao was shouting at Qin Feng just a second ago. Now he was lying in a pool of blood. What was more terrifying was that his head was separated from his body. It was a cruel death. The room was filled with the smell of blood. The Gao family members gulped. No one dared to stand up and shout. Qin Feng did not even look at Gao Hai. He said indifferently, "I, Qin Feng, have spared your Gao family once, but you still dared to betray me. You have only yourself to blame for the destruction of the Gao family." He seemed to be talking to the Gao family, but it also seemed like he was talking to himself. The Gao family members suddenly had an ominous premonition. Before they could react, a flame seemed to fall from the sky and engulf them. There were explosions everywhere, and the screams of the people were heard. Qin Feng stood in front of the Gao family's main residence, as if nothing had happened. The purple dusk immortal fire burned for a few minutes, and everything returned to normal. The Gao family members were nowhere to be seen. There was not even a trace of blood or residue on the ground. The Gao family, which had just risen to power, was destroyed in a matter of minutes. Qin Feng brushed his sleeves and left. His schedule was full today. In Acropolis City alone, there were more than 10 families that he had to visit. In just one afternoon, a shocking news spread through the streets of Acropolis City. Qin Feng had returned. Not only had he returned, but he had also suppressed the families that had betrayed him. The Gao family of Acropolis City was destroyed. The Zhou family closed their doors. The nail guards in the Fang family's old residence all fled. The Chiron Corporation closed down. The boss of Shuofeng Steel Corporation died mysteriously. The executives of Xianxing Real Estate fled with their money. These people were the representatives of the royal group. Now that Qin Feng had returned, they were all in trouble. Such a huge move had alarmed some of the rich and powerful families in Beijing. For a moment, the rich and powerful of China's upper class were like birds startled by the mere twang of a bow. Many of them sent more bodyguards, and some even bought plane tickets to hide abroad. Qin Feng had only caused a ruckus in the Acropolis City, but his fame had caused everyone to tremble with fear. This was his prestige in China. Even though he hadn't appeared in the world for half a year, he had returned to the peak of China. A large group of people came to the Dongfang family's old residence in Beijing. These people had fiery red chests and carried firecrackers and betrothal gifts. It was a scene of jubilation. The man walking at the front of the group wore a red groom's robe and a tall red hat. He was handsome and had a playful and disrespectful smile on his face. Elder Dongfang, hurry and call Qing Shui out. I've asked an expert to calculate. Today is an auspicious day. I'm here to marry Qing Shui. The courtyard of the Dongfang family, which used to be one of the 4 big families in Beijing, was deserted. Dongfang Ming Wang was the only one standing in the empty courtyard. His white hair fluttered in the wind, and his expression was grave. He seemed to have aged a lot. He glared at the man and yelled, "Yang Can, are you crazy? Qing Shui and Qin Feng are already engaged. You're Qin Feng's little brother. How dare you come to marry your sister-in-law?" The Dongfang family was not what it used to be. Because Dongfang Ming Wang had always been on Qin Feng's side, they had always been suppressed by Taoist Gu. Yang Can and Lu Shu had previously pledged their allegiance to Qin Feng, so their families were doing well in Beijing. Although the Yang family had fallen from being one of the 4 big families, they were still among the first-rate families. However, the situation had changed. The Yang family pledged their allegiance to Taoist Gu and returned to being one of the 4 big families. The Yang family was growing stronger day by day, and they no longer cared about the Dongfang family. Hearing Qin Feng's name, Yang Can's eyes were spitting fire. Who does Qin Feng think he is? Does he really think I'm willing to be his little brother? He suppressed the Yang family to the point where we became a lowly family. Now I finally have a chance to turn things around. I'm here to take revenge. Who said I can't marry Qing Shui? I'm going to make her my woman, so that Qin Feng won't be able to rest in peace, even if he becomes a ghost. Yang Can suddenly smirked. He was deliberately taking revenge on Qin Feng. Dongfang Ming Wang was so angry that his eyes rolled. He wanted to slap the bastard Yang Can to death. However, Dongfang Ming Wang couldn't help but worry when he thought that Qing Xing had Taoist Gu as her backer. In fact, he had fought with Taoist Gu before. He couldn't even take one move from him. You should go back. Qing Shui isn't in Beijing. She's already gone abroad. Dongfang Ming Wang made up an excuse. Yang Can was not stupid. He laughed and said, "Stupid old man. Do you think I'll believe your nonsense? I advise you to be sensible and hand over Qing Shui. It'll be good for everyone. Moreover, Taoist Gu is in power in China now. If I marry Qing Shui, your Dongfang family will also benefit from the Yang family in the future." Dongfang Ming Wang was full of disdain for Yang Can's fallacy. His expression turned cold as he said, "Yang Jiashuan, yesterday, there was news from Acropolis City that Qin Feng has returned. I advise you to restrain yourself. Otherwise, you won't even know how you die." The smile on Yang Can's face suddenly disappeared. He had been beaten up badly by Qin Feng in the past, so he was still very afraid of Qin Feng. However, when he thought that he now had Taoist Gu's support, he immediately regained his confidence. If you believe G-type rumors? In the past 6 months, there have been more than 10 rumors of Qin Feng's return. Which one of them was true? Moreover, so what if he really came back? Do you think he can defeat Taoist Master Gu? Yang Can yelled in a righteous manner. Remember the website. Sandwich Chinese Network. Chapter 1496. Dongfang Ming Wang was enraged, but he did not vent his anger. Just as Yang Can said, Huaxia was no longer Qin Feng's world. "Stinky old man, I don't have the patience to waste my time with you. I'll give you half a minute to consider. If you don't hand over Qing Shui, I'll have someone tear down your Dongfang court." Yang Can had exhausted his patience. His words almost made Dongfang Ming Wang faint. The Dongfang court was a reward given to him by the Dragon sect when he was conferred the title of Marquis. It was not as simple as a piece of land. It was a place of honor and dignity. Yet now, a junior like Yang Can was actually trampling on his dignity. He was truly boundlessly arrogant. "Stinky brat. If you dare to step into the inner room of the Dongfang court today, I'll make sure you die a horrible death." Dongfang Ming Wang glared at Qin Feng as inner chi surged out of his body. He was one of the 9 dragons, and an expert at the peak of stage 9 inner chi. He was a powerful existence in the secular world of China. Yang Qian jumped back in fright, but he quickly sneered. He clapped his hands, and a middle-aged man jumped out from behind him. The man was dressed strangely. He wore a long robe and had long hair. He looked like someone from ancient times. Heh, damn old man. Do you think I'm afraid of you with your puny skills? Senior Gu Yin is perfected Gu's disciple. He can send you flying with one hand. Yang Qian had retreated behind Gu Yin. The man was dressed in a long black robe. He stood in front of Dongfang Ming Wang with his hands behind his back. He looked indifferent and somewhat disgusted. Dongfang Ming Wang's expression turned serious. Although they had not exchanged blows, he could feel a powerful yet unfamiliar aura from his opponent. This aura was similar to Qin Feng's. It was obvious that his opponent was an expert who had stepped into the true energy realm. Old man, I advise you to listen to young Master Yang's orders. Otherwise I won't go easy on you, Gu Yin said disdainfully. He did not take Dongfang Ming Wang seriously at all. You want to take Qing Shui away? You'll have to do it over my dead body. Dongfang Ming Wang admitted that he was not Gu Yin's match, but he was still unyielding. Yang Qian revealed a ruthless expression and nodded at Gu Yin. Gu Yin walked towards Dongfang Ming Wang as if nothing had happened. When the two of them were still 5 meters apart, Gu Yin moved like lightning. His speed was so fast that Dongfang Ming Wang could not react in time. Rumble! There was a loud explosion. A deathly aura enveloped Dongfang Ming Wang. Dongfang Ming Wang thought that he was going to die, but after a while, he opened his eyes and realized that Gu Yin's right arm had disappeared. Gu Yin's heart-wrenching screams came from the courtyard. Yang Qian still hadn't figured out the situation. Wasn't Senior Gu Yin teaching Dongfang Ming Wang a lesson? Why was he screaming? But when he saw the reality in front of him, he was so scared that he almost fell to the ground. A bloody arm fell to the ground beside Dongfang Ming Wang's feet. It was Gu Yin's arm. Senior Gu Yin, are you all right? Yang Qian was at a loss of what to do. He suddenly roared at Dongfang Ming Wang. Smelly old man. How dare you attack Senior Gu Yin? He's a disciple of Taoist Gu. Aren't you afraid that Taoist Gu will come and kill you? Dongfang Ming Wang was woken up by Yang Qian's shout. How could Gu Yin's arm be chopped off by him? He was puzzled in his heart. Who did this? Yang Qian, you're so impressive now? A cold voice suddenly rang out, startling the three of them. Gu Yin was a true Qi Stage 5 expert. He quickly stopped the blood from flowing out of his arm, but when he looked around, he didn't see anyone else in the courtyard. The atmosphere started to become strange. Yang Qian stood rooted to the ground, not knowing what to do. Dongfang Ming Wang secretly stared at Gu Yin. He was thinking if he should take advantage of Gu Yin's injury to fight to the death with him. The three of them had different thoughts. But before they could make a decision, a gust of wind suddenly blew in the courtyard, directly blocking their vision. The gust came and went quickly. When the three of them opened their eyes again, they were shocked. Qin Feng? It's really you. Dongfang Ming Wang looked at the white-robed youth beside him in disbelief. He felt like he was dreaming. The moment Yang Qian saw Qin Feng, he was so scared that he directly fell to the ground. He was previously suppressed by Qin Feng. If he didn't hear the news of Qin Feng's death, he wouldn't dare to betray him. But now, he discovered that the rumors were false. Qin Feng was clearly alive and well. You. Yang Qian pointed at Qin Feng with eyes full of fear. He couldn't say a complete sentence for a long time. What's wrong? You don't recognize me after not seeing me for half a year? Qin Feng smiled as if Yang Qian was his old friend. You actually didn't die. Senior Gu Yin, quickly kill him. He is Qin Feng, the previous pinnacle of China's martial Tao. Yang Qian anxiously shouted at Gu Yin. Gu Yin was startled. He didn't expect Qin Feng to return. Who are you? Qin Feng already looked at Gu Yin. This guy was at the 5th stage of true Qi, which surprised Qin Feng. The one with the surname Qin. I am a disciple of the ancient sword sect. This time, I followed Great Elder Gu Tatian out of the mountains and stayed in China. If you know what's good for you, you should obediently submit to Elder Gu Tatian. Then you can keep your worthless life. Gu Yin quickly regained his senses. After knowing Qin Feng's identity, he wasn't afraid, and even had an arrogant attitude. Of course, Qin Feng knew about the ancient sword sect. It was a large sect in the Divine Continent. Its power was only below the 5 supremes of the Divine Continent. However, when Qin Feng entered the Extreme Frost City, he killed the sect master of the ancient sword sect, Gu Yijian. The Divine Continent no longer had this sect. After listening to Gu Yan's words, Qin Feng understood. No wonder Taoist Gu could dominate China's martial Tao forces in half a year. That person was the great elder of the Divine Continent. Naturally, no one in China's secular world was his match. So it's an ant from the ancient sword sect. You really don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Qin Feng said with an indifferent expression. Gu Yan was startled and sneered. Ha! You said that my ancient sword sect doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth? I think you are the ignorant one. The ancient sword sect is a major sect in the Divine Continent. How can a brat like you casually comment on it? As a disciple of the Divine Continent's sacred sect, Gu Yan didn't put Qin Feng in his eyes at all. If he had seen the battle between Qin Feng and the Divine Continent's 3 Supremes 3 months ago, he probably wouldn't have said that. After Qin Feng understood the situation, he couldn't be bothered to talk nonsense with Gu Yan. He casually raised his hand, and a purple flame shot out. The flame was as fast as lightning. Gu Yan didn't even realize the danger, and was already buried in the sea of fire. Rumble! The flame soared to the sky, and couldn't be extinguished in a short period of time. Dongfang Ming Wang and Yang Qin were stunned on the spot. Even now, they still couldn't figure out what was going on. Seeing that Gu Yan was completely annihilated, Qin Feng came to Dongfang Ming Wang's side, as if nothing had happened. Elder Dongfang, this junior came late. I've let you suffer. Qin Feng stood at the peak of the Divine Continent, and viewed true Qi stage powerhouses as ants. However, he didn't change in front of his elders, relatives and friends. He was still the same Qin Feng from before. Dongfang Ming Wang suddenly woke up. He looked at the empty space, and then looked at Qin Feng. He really didn't dare to accept this reality. Qin Feng, that person was killed by you? Dongfang Ming Wang was astonished. Qin Feng shrugged and said casually, he was just an ant. I killed him a long time ago. Dongfang Ming Wang was instantly speechless. He realized that Qin Feng had become even stronger after disappearing for half a year. When he stood in front of Qin Feng, he even had a sacred feeling, as if he was looking up at a god. A true Qi stage 5 powerhouse died just like that. Not even a corpse could be found. Yang Can's heart was already trembling. His whole body was shaking, and he suddenly regretted betraying Qin Feng. Qin Feng. No, young Master Qin, why are you back? Why didn't you tell this little brother before you came back? This little brother could have welcomed you back. Yang Can's expression changed faster than flipping a book, causing Dongfang Ming Wang to look down on him. Qin Feng sneered, and walked toward him with large strides. Yang Can, how dare you? You even dared to peep at my woman. Yang Can was so scared that he didn't even have the strength to stand up. At this moment he was lying on the ground like a wild dog. Don't come near me. The Yang family has already submitted to Taoist Gu. If you dare to touch a single hair on my head, Taoist Gu definitely won't let you off. He still wanted to use Taoist Gu's name to threaten Qin Feng, but he was welcomed with a sea of fire. Under the purple dusk immortal fire, Yang Can didn't even have time to struggle. In the blink of an eye, he was burned to ashes. The Dongfang court regained its desolation. There were no traces of blood on the ground. It was as if Yang Can and Gu Yan had never been here. Dongfang Ming Wang was still in a daze. An inexplicable sense of reverence welled up in his heart. The current Qin Feng was completely unfathomable to him. Elder Dongfang, is Qing Shui doing well? Qin Feng walked over with a friendly smile. Qing Shui is fine. She's in her room. I'll call her out now. Dongfang Ming Wang was about to call her when Qin Feng stopped him. Don't call Qing Shui for now. I still have to deal with the other ants. That's right, Elder Dongfang. Where's the dragon god now? Qin Feng had wiped out the rebel forces in Acropolis City yesterday. Today he came to the capital city to clean up the trash here. Dongfang Ming Wang sighed and said, Sigh. Senior Dragon God is under house arrest in the Martial Art Alliance. Qin Feng remembered that when he left Huaxia, The dragon god had already stepped into stage 2 of vital energy. After 3 months with the dragon god's sovereign peace system, breaking through to stage 4 of vital energy would not be a problem. With such a realm, he could be considered top-notch in Huaxia's secular world. How could he be captured? Who dares to capture him? Is it that spiritual master Gu? Qin Feng asked. Isn't it him? Speaking of spiritual master Gu, Dongfeng Ming Wang had a bellyful of bitterness. Qin Feng, you've been gone for more than half a year. Great changes have taken place in Huaxia's martial arts forces. That spiritual master Gu seems to have appeared out of nowhere and defeated all the martial arts forces in Huaxia. He even captured the dragon god to prove his authority. Dongfeng Ming Wang told Qin Feng all the major events that had happened recently. After listening to him, Qin Feng was enraged. A mere great elder of the ancient sword sect dared to behave atrociously in Huaxia's secular world? He even suppressed his family and friends. Qin Feng was going to make him regret it. Dear reader, you can search for Blue Book Bar to find this site immediately. Chapter 1497. Qin Feng was not in a hurry to see Dongfang Qingxue. Instead, he took advantage of the night to deal with those traitors. The Yang family's old residence was brightly lit. Many relatives were gathered in the conference room for a meeting. Now that the Yang family had soared under Daoist Gu's leadership, the entire Yang family was in a joyous mood. The Yang family's elder, who was sitting at the head of the conference table, was talking loudly, imagining the Yang family's future development and glory. Both sides of the long table were filled with people. All of them were in high spirits and were imagining the glory that the elder had described. However, at this moment, the conference room's door was kicked open. Everyone in the room jumped up in fright. Which servant dares to barge into the conference room? Yang Can's father, Yang Fei, was the first to jump out with a furious expression. Many of the Yang family members looked toward the door with cold expressions after coming back to their senses. This conference room was the Yang family's secret area. Only direct relatives could enter. Who would have thought that someone would dare to kick open the door? A young man in white stood at the door. His head was slightly lowered, and his face could not be seen clearly. The young man's cold voice sounded. The Yang family will be destroyed tonight. Are you still dreaming about the future? Everyone in the room was stunned. They could not understand the identity of the person who had come. The Yang family was now the leader of the 4 major families in Beijing. Someone dared to come here and cause trouble? Brat, do you dare to raise your head? Don't stand at the door and act mysterious, Yang Fei roared coldly. Qin Feng slowly raised his head with a casual smile on his face. When the Yang family members saw his face, they were instantly shocked. You're Qin Feng? After not seeing him for half a year, Qin Feng had more or less changed. His appearance was more handsome, and his aura had completely changed. At this moment, he stood in front of the Yang family's door, like an immortal descending into the world. It really is Qin Feng. This brat actually came back. The Yang family members gradually came back to their senses. The conference room instantly exploded. Currently, China was spreading the news that Qin Feng had died in the forbidden sect. Who would have thought that this person would jump out in the middle of the night? It was as terrifying as seeing a living ghost. That's right. I'm still alive. Have I disappointed you? Qin Feng's voice was cold and pierced into everyone's hearts like an icy thorn. Although he had disappeared for more than half a year, his reputation was still fresh in everyone's minds. Now that Qin Feng had returned, the Yang family did not even dare to let out a fart. It's actually young Master Qin who's back. Quickly tell the servants to prepare a banquet and properly entertain young hero Qin. The Yang family's elder reacted the fastest. He immediately put on a peaceful smile, as if he was Qin Feng's old friend. If Qin Feng hadn't already known the news of the Yang family's betrayal, he would have been fooled by the old man's current performance. He didn't wait for the Yang family's relatives to leave and coldly said, "Do you want to call someone to inform them? I think there's no need to make it so troublesome. I just came from the Dongfang garden. I killed that brat Yang Can, so I came here tonight to destroy your Yang clan. Even if you call for Daoist Gu's help, I'm afraid you'll all be dead before he arrives." After disappearing for half a year, Qin Feng was still so domineering. His words made everyone in the Yang family unhappy, but none of them dared to show it. Young Master Qin, what are you saying? How come I don't understand? The Yang family's elder was still playing dumb. Qin Feng admired this old man's acting skills. You don't understand? Then go ask the king of hell. Rumble. In the blink of an eye, several balls of purple fire shot out. Before the crowd could react, more than half of the Yang family's disciples were already in the sea of fire. Screams filled the air, but Qin Feng didn't seem to hear them. The few who were lucky enough to survive quickly ran out of the door, shouting at Qin Feng as they ran for their lives. Bastard Qin, don't be too arrogant. Huaxia is Daoist Gu's world now. Just you wait to die. Quick, send a message to Daoist Gu, and ask him to come and kill this brat. Their fantasies were shattered by Qin Feng. With a raise of his hand, they fell into a pool of blood. Now that Qin Feng had broken through to stage 2 of the immortal qi, dealing with these internal qi, and ordinary people, who didn't cultivate was like killing ants. In just a few minutes, the huge conference room of the Yang family was empty. Not even a shadow or a corpse could be seen. That night, Qin Feng was very busy. He visited the major families in the capital, and also went to the Dragon Sect, Saint Medic and Divine Armament Hall. Overnight, the news of Qin Feng's return spread throughout the capital. Actually, many people had received the news yesterday, but most of them didn't believe it. But after tonight, everyone believed the rumor. It was late at night. A room in the Martial Artist Alliance's base was still brightly lit. A group of men dressed like ancient people stood in the room. There was another person sitting on the sofa. He looked to be in his 50s, had gray hair, and wore a black robe. He looked like an otherworldly master. Grand Elder Gu Tatian, I just received news from the Ma family in the capital that Qin Feng has returned. I also received news from the Acropolis city. Qin Feng seems to have returned yesterday. Grand Elder, the disciples planted by Saint Medic and Divine Armament Hall have been killed. The 5 disciples reported the situation, and all of their stories were related to Qin Feng. They were all disciples from the ancient sword sect of the Divine Land. Half a year ago, they came out of seclusion with Grand Elder Gu Tatian. When the disciples of other sects were forced to leave the extinction sect by Qin Feng, they secretly stayed in the secular world of Huaxia. Later, when they learned that Qin Feng had gone to the extinction sect, they ran amok in the secular world and achieved their current status. The 5 disciples looked bitter when they learned that Qin Feng had returned. They still remembered how Qin Feng fought against the disciples of other sects on the river Song beside Devil Beast Mountain. Grand Elder, what should we do now? Someone asked worriedly. Gu Taishan's face darkened, and his eyes were filled with murderous intent. Why should I be afraid of a brat who hasn't even grown his hair? I thought he had died in the Divine Land, but I didn't expect him to come back alive. But that's fine, I'll kill him with my own hands. That way, my reputation in the secular world of Huaxia will be even greater. Gu Tatian didn't think much of Qin Feng. Half a year ago, Qin Feng had forced the disciples of the Sacred Gate to leave the extinction sect, but that was only possible with the help of Huaxia's power and technology. Moreover, Gu Tatian didn't show up at all. He had decided not to go back the moment he came out of seclusion. He wanted to dominate the secular world. So why should he go back to the Divine Land and play the role of a follower? The 5 disciples calmed down. They remembered that the Grand Elder had already reached stage 8 true qi. Who in the secular world of Huaxia could be his match? Even if Qin Feng came back, he would still be dead. Just as the worries in their minds dissipated, they heard an indifferent voice say, "Are you the ants of the Gujian sect?" The 6 disciples tensed up and immediately looked toward the door. Their hearts were in turmoil as they wondered when the white-clothed youth at the door had come in. They didn't notice him at all. "Who are you? Who let you in?" One of the disciples yelled at Qin Feng. "You say you want to kill me, but you don't even know who I am? What a joke." Qin Feng smirked. The 5 disciples were taken aback. One of them exclaimed, You're Qin Feng?" They recognized him even without Qin Feng's answer. Although Qin Feng's appearance had changed slightly over the past half a year, he still looked the same as before. The 5 disciples immediately got into formation and stared at Qin Feng's every move, as if they were facing a formidable enemy. Qin Feng walked into the room as if nothing had happened. Every step he took was like a thunderbolt striking the hearts of the 5 disciples. Didn't you want to kill me? Why do you look like you're afraid of me? Qin Feng smirked. The 5 disciples didn't dare to make a move. They were all true qi cultivators, and could tell at a glance that Qin Feng's strength was extraordinary. His aura was unfamiliar, and neither was it inner qi nor true qi. Even Gu Tatian, who was sitting on the innermost sofa, had a serious expression on his face. He stared at Qin Feng in surprise, trying to see through this young man, but realized that he couldn't understand him at all. Qin Feng, I know you have some skills, but you're like an ant in front of me. I'll give you a chance to live. You will follow me from now on and work for me. Gu Taishan's wizened voice rang out. Qin Feng was amused. I say, old fart, have you become muddle-headed from living so long? Do you think you can convince me? What a joke. Qin Feng's face was nonchalant. Gu Tatian had no idea where he got his confidence from. The 5 disciples gradually calmed down. They were outnumbered and had elder Gu Tatian with them. Why would they be afraid of Qin Feng? How dare you speak so arrogantly in front of elder Gu? You must be tired of living. Elder Gu, since this kid is unwilling to submit, we'll make him disappear from Huaxia tonight. The 5 disciples were vicious and their words were full of threats. Just as Gu Tatian was about to make a move, he saw several bursts of fire. Before the 6 of them could react, the 5 disciples were engulfed in the sea of fire. Kaboom! Gu Taishan's eyes widened in shock as the explosions continued. He felt like he was dreaming. What did you do? Where are my 5 disciples? The purple fire disappeared. Gu Tatian looked around the room several times, but didn't see his disciples. Qin Feng's attack was swift and fierce. He could kill a group of true qi ants in the blink of an eye. Even Gu Tatian couldn't tell what was going on. I've killed them all, it's your turn now. Qin Feng's voice was indifferent, as if he was talking about something trivial. Fear rose in Gu Taishan's heart at that moment. He had thought that Qin Feng was only slightly stronger than him, and was no match for him. However, it seemed that he had underestimated Qin Feng's strength. Don't do anything stupid. I'm the Grand Elder of the Ancient Sword Sect of the Divine Land, and I've reached stage 8 true qi. If we continue to fight, neither of us will win. Why don't we work together and dominate the secular world of Huaxia from now on? Gu Taishan's mind raced, but Qin Feng found the idea laughable. Chapter 1498. I think you're overthinking. Killing you is easier than killing a chicken. Qin Feng suddenly thrust his palm forward as soon as he finished. Gu Tatian didn't even have a chance to react at the moment of the explosion. He was sent flying backward and slammed into the hard concrete wall, knocking it over. Qin Feng had purposely tortured Gu Tatian slowly, or he would have been smashed to pieces by that palm strike. That seemingly simple palm strike had completely awakened Gu Tatian. He realized that Qin Feng's power was beyond his imagination. As a stage 8 true qi cultivator, he couldn't even fight back. Cold sweat broke out on Gu Taishan's forehead as he watched Qin Feng approach. He quickly yelled, Don't kill me. I'm the Grand Elder of the Gujian sect of the Divine Land. You may be powerful, but you're still too weak compared to the martial artists of the Divine Land. If I die in the mundane world, my sect master will come and kill you himself. Qin Feng sneered at Gu Taishan's threat. The Gujian sect is nothing to me. Is your sect master called Guijian? Gu Tatian was taken aback. An ominous feeling rose in his heart. You know my sect master? I don't know that ant. But he offended me and I've already killed him. Oh right, I have another piece of good news for you. The Gujian sect has been destroyed in the Divine Land. Qin Feng tossed out each piece of shocking news that Gu Tatian almost fainted. Gu Tatian wondered if Qin Feng was lying to him. How could the Gujian sect be destroyed so easily? However, looking at Qin Feng's calm expression, it didn't seem like he was lying. Wait, didn't you go to the Divine Land? How did you get out? Gu Tatian suddenly exclaimed. He remembered a serious problem. The formation between the Divine Land and the Huaxia mundane world only loosened once every 20 years. How did Qin Feng get out? Qin Feng looked at Gu Tatian with pity. Fine, you're going to die soon. I'll let you know the current situation in the Divine Land before you die. The 5 venerables of the Divine Land have all abdicated, and the Celestial Spirits sect is now the strongest. The group of peak true Qi9 cultivators has been killed. Apart from me, the sect master of the Thousand Shadows sect, Qingchen, has the highest cultivation. Qin Feng spoke casually, but it stirred waves in Gu Tatian's heart. If the secular world of Huaxia had undergone great changes in the past 6 months, then the Divine Land would have been completely different. Gu Tatian's eyes were full of doubt. He had always doubted Qin Feng's words. How could anyone in the Divine Land kill the 5 venerables? You don't believe me? Qin Feng glanced at Gu Feng. Gu Tatian. Kid, you can continue making up stories. If you have such a big brain hole, why don't you write it? I've read a supreme hedonist book written by young Master Du. You're just as good at bragging as the main character in the book. Qin Feng smiled again, and did not even bother explaining this time. He casually slapped Gu Tatian, and burned him to ashes in the immortal fire, before Gu Tatian could react. Gu Cultivator Feng to Gu Tu. Were. In other people's eyes, he was as powerful as a god and couldn't be offended. In Qin Feng's eyes, he was worse than a pig or a dog. After destroying the Gujian sect's forces, Qin Feng swaggered toward the Martial Art Alliance's underground prison. He knew that the dragon god was still locked inside. Who are you? What are you doing in the dungeon? That kid looks familiar. I think I've seen him somewhere before. The security in the Martial Art Alliance was very tight, especially in the dungeon, which was heavily guarded. Qin Feng glanced at the 8 guards and said, I am Qin Feng. Get out of here if you don't want to die. The 8 guards were enraged. How dare someone mess with them in the Martial Artist Alliance? However, 3 of them suddenly froze midway. They finally realized who Qin Feng was. Young Master Qin? Are you young Master Qin? Greetings, young Master Qin. I didn't expect you to be back. The 8 guards trembled in fear. They had all submitted to Taoist Gu, but they were just minor characters. Qin Feng couldn't even be bothered to kill them. Where is Senior Divine Dragon? Qin Feng asked coldly. One of them said, In the solitary cell at the end of the dungeon. Qin Feng had already jumped into the dungeon. The 8 guards were scared out of their wits. They even went to Perfected Master Gu's room, and found that Perfected Master Gu and his disciples were all gone. The Martial Artist Alliance's dungeon was huge enough to hold thousands of people. The dungeon was full of people. Qin Feng used the talisman of clairvoyance to look inside, and found that many of them were his subordinates. Boom! A loud noise echoed in the dungeon. The people in the dungeon were scared out of their wits. After a while, some people exclaimed, Someone opened the dungeon's door? Our door has also been opened. What's going on? There's someone outside. Who are you? Young Master Qin? Is there something wrong with my eyes? I can't believe I saw young Master Qin. Qin Feng destroyed all the dungeon doors, and the people inside ran out. Everyone gathered around Qin Feng. They felt like they were dreaming as they looked at Qin Feng, who was dressed in white, and had an otherworldly temperament. Don't worry, everyone. I've killed Perfected Master Gu. Everyone is safe now. Qin Feng's voice echoed in the dungeon. The people were stunned and cheered. They were all heroes who had been on Qin Feng's side. When they heard that Qin Feng had returned to the top, they knew that they had made the right choice. Qin Feng saw Zhang Ye in the crowd. He was a member of the Dragon Gate Huang group. He had joined Qin Feng a long time ago, and guarded Hero City with Lu Jie and Long Hair. Zhang Ye, bring me to Senior Dragon God, Qin Feng said. Zhang Ye woke up with a start. He realized that the situation in front of him was not a dream. Young Master Qin had really returned. The 2 of them came to the deepest part of the dungeon. There was a single cell. The cell door was made of bulletproof material, and the other 3 sides were impenetrable concrete and steel walls. Qin Feng slapped the bulletproof door, and it collapsed with a loud bang. Zhang Ye was dumbfounded. The room was dark and damp. Qin Feng walked in alone, leaving Zhang Ye to guard the door. As soon as he walked into the cell, he felt a sense of danger behind him. Qin Feng reached out and caught the person who ambushed him. Senior Dragon God? Why did you ambush me? Fortunately, Qin Feng reacted quickly. Otherwise, Divine Dragon would have been burned to ashes. Divine Dragon had been locked up in the cell for several months, and he had not seen a ray of sunlight. His white robe was covered in dust, his hair was disheveled, and his face was pale. He looked very pathetic. However, at this moment, Divine Dragon's black eyes shone, and he stared at Qin Feng. Qin Feng? You're really back? Qin Feng had been asked this question by too many people since he came back. He was almost numb to it. Divine Dragon, you're such a scumbag. How did you get caught? Qin Feng was probably the only person in China who dared to talk to Divine Dragon like this. Divine Dragon was not angry. Instead, he grabbed Qin Feng's arm excitedly. Since you came to the dungeon, it means that you've killed perfected Gu and the rest, right? Qin Feng nodded nonchalantly. He felt that killing Taoist Gu was a trivial matter. They're just a bunch of ants. I can kill them with a wave of my hand. Divine Dragon almost vomited blood when he saw Qin Feng's casual expression. He had fought with perfected Gu before, but he was defeated in 3 moves. The 12 Peaks of Dragon Gate had fought with perfected Gu before, but they were defeated in less than 10 moves. Currently, no one in China's secular world could defeat perfected Gu. However, to Qin Feng, that person was like an ant. Can you speak properly, brat? What's going on outside? Divine Dragon said with a cold expression. Qin Feng did not tease Divine Dragon for his brother-in-law's sake. He said sternly, I came back from China the day before yesterday, and I've already wiped out the forces in Acropolis City and Capital City. I killed perfected Gu 10 minutes ago. In a few days, China's secular world will be back to normal. Qin Feng said it casually, but Divine Dragon felt like he was listening to a myth. He sized up Qin Feng carefully and realized that there was a huge change in Qin Feng's aura. It was not true qi, but a mysterious aura. China? Where is that? Divine Dragon was dumbfounded. It's the Extinction Sect. People there call it China, Qin Feng said simply. He was afraid that Divine Dragon would not be able to accept it if he said too much. The Extinction Sect's formation only loosens once every 20 years. How did you get out? By the way, what's your level now? Why can't I understand anything? Divine Dragon was once the pinnacle of martial arts in China's secular world. At this moment, he was staring at Qin Feng like a curious baby. It's better if you don't know my level lest you're sad. Qin Feng smiled. Divine Dragon rolled his eyes. Don't keep me guessing. You're at stage 9 true qi at most. I'm at stage 6 true qi now. I'll catch up to you soon. Although Divine Dragon said it casually, he was amazed. It had only been half a year, and Qin Feng had jumped from stage 4 true qi to stage 9 true qi? This brat's breakthrough speed was like a rocket. Divine Dragon's level was beyond Qin Feng's expectations. It seemed that he had not been slacking off in the past 6 months. True qi realm? That's in the past. I've stepped into the higher immortal realm. Brother Divine Dragon, you need to continue working hard. Divine Dragon was stunned, and his eyeballs fell to the ground. There was no celestial lord in China's secular world. Divine Dragon had only heard Ling Jiutian mention celestial lords once, but he never thought that he would meet an celestial lord in person today, and that person was his brother-in-law. Brat, are you kidding me? How could you step into the immortal realm? Divine Dragon still could not accept it. Qin Feng rolled his eyes and casually struck out with his palm. The sound was so loud that the entire underground prison seemed to be shaking. Divine Dragon opened his eyes and saw that the solid wall had collapsed. Why would I lie to you? Now that I've taken over the land of China, I thought of making a trip back. I didn't expect so many things to happen in China's secular world. Fortunately, I came back in time. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable, Qin Feng said with his mouth twitched. Friends who read books, you can search for Blue Book Bar, and you'll find this site immediately. Chapter 1499. The two chatted for a while, and the Divine Dragon was completely stunned. When they walked out of the cell, everyone stood outside. Many people had gone out to check, and found that Gu Tatian and his men were nowhere to be found. They thought that Qin Feng had probably scared them away. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye, Qin Feng's name once again resounded across the land of Huaxia. Many powerful families and clans collapsed in these 3 days, and a game of reshuffling went on in the dark. Qin Feng was thankful for Gu Taishan's appearance. The man had helped him identify those who were pretending to be on his side, and helped him get rid of those fence-sitters. Qin Feng didn't participate in the follow-up, and left it to his women. He was lying on Lu Bingbing's bed, and they had been fighting since last night until dawn. Qin Feng had no intention of stopping, but there was a knock on the door. "Bing Bing, who's knocking on your door so early in the morning?" Qin Feng complained. Lu Bingbing was naked and sitting in Qin Feng's arms. She hugged Qin Feng's neck tightly, and looked like she wanted more. Her sexy and voluptuous body made Qin Feng's heart burn. "I don't care who he is. I still want." Qin Feng had trained Lu Bingbing to be this seductive vixen. However, she only showed her charm in front of Qin Feng, and no other men could touch her. The knocking on the door became urgent and an old man's voice came. "Young Master Qin, are you there?" Lu Bingbing was startled and exclaimed, "The 12 peaks are here. Hey, don't move, it's so embarrassing." Qin Feng grumbled inwardly about the 12 old men, and wondered why they were here at this time. Nevertheless, he quickly put on his clothes and went downstairs to open the door. There were 12 old men standing outside the door. They smiled when they saw Qin Feng, as if they were here to trick Qin Feng into joining a multi-level marketing organization. "Hey, it's so early in the morning. Why don't you let me sleep?" Qin Feng grumbled. He was probably the only person in the whole of Huaxia who dared to talk to the 12 peaks like that. The 12 old men looked embarrassed. They realized that they had interrupted Qin Feng and Lu Bingbing, but they pretended that they didn't know anything. "Haha, young Master Qin, we have important matters to discuss with you," the representatives of the 12 upper peaks said. Qin Feng brought the 12 people into the house. Everyone sat around the sofa. The 6 old men had no place to sit, so they just stood to the side. "Seniors from the 12 upper peaks, you're here." Lu Bingbing had already put on her clothes and went downstairs. These 12 people were all her superiors, so it wasn't good for her to not show up. "Team leader Lu, sorry to bother you." Although they were Lu Bingbing's superiors, no one in the Dragon Gate could control Lu Bingbing and Yen Wushuang because of Qin Feng. Lu Bingbing poured tea for everyone, then wrapped her arms around Qin Feng's neck and sat in his embrace. Now that everyone in China knew that Lu Bingbing was Qin Feng's woman, she didn't need to be so distant in front of the 12 peaks. As Qin Feng touched Lu Bingbing's body, he said, "Tell me, why did you come looking for me?" The representative of the 12 upper peaks laughed and said, "Hee hee, young Master Qin. It's all thanks to your sudden return that you suppressed Taoist Gu and allowed the Chinese martial world to return to normal. We, the 12 upper peaks, are here to thank you on behalf of the Dragon Sect." Qin Feng curled his lips and said, "That's it? All right then, I already know your intentions. Please go back." Lu Bingbing was speechless. Qin Feng's attitude towards the 12 upper peaks was too overbearing. However, she wouldn't say anything. Qin Feng was her man, so she would naturally stand on his side. The 12 upper peaks blushed and felt extremely awkward. "Ahem, young Master Qin, to tell you the truth, there's another important matter that we need your help with." Qin Feng knew that these 12 old guys had something to ask of him. However, he was a member of the Dragon Sect, so he didn't reject the 12 upper peaks. "Get to the point," Qin Feng said indifferently. "Recently, the intelligence departments of various countries have received news from an organization in Nepal, South Africa. They claim that they've developed a batch of biochemical mecha soldiers and want all countries to submit to them. Otherwise, they'll destroy the world." The representatives of the 12 upper peaks looked serious. Qin Feng and Lu Bingbing were depressed. A small organization in South Africa dares to say such big words? Why do you need to care about them? Qin Feng was puzzled. The representatives of the 12 upper peaks looked bitter. Young Master Qin is right. There are many organizations like this in South Africa. Normally, we wouldn't care about them. However, this time, they really have a very strong biochemical mecha soldier. They released a video saying that the biochemical mecha's destructive power is comparable to our Chinese true Qi realm martial artists. At this point, Qin Feng and Lu Bingbing became serious. Most martial artists in China's secular world were still at the inner Qi realm. There weren't many true Qi realm martial artists. They didn't think that a small organization in South Africa could develop a biochemical mecha soldier that was comparable to the true Qi realm. Did you bring the video? Let me see, Qin Feng said immediately. The 12 upper peaks came prepared. One of them immediately opened his laptop and played a video. In the video, a weird-looking mecha man appeared. He had many weapons on him, and almost all the guns and cannons. When he saw this mecha man, Qin Feng's brows furrowed. This is something made by the Supreme Mecha System, Qin Feng muttered. The 12 upper peaks didn't hear him clearly. One of them asked, "Young Master Qin, what did you say?" Qin Feng suddenly came back to his senses. He thought that he almost exposed the system. He casually came up with a cover, but the doubts in his heart were still unresolved. When he destroyed the Verdant Gate base, he devoured the Supreme Mecha System near Neil's Nest in South Africa. Now that half a year had passed, why did these mechas appear again? Young Master Qin, the other party released a final notice yesterday. They said that if the countries don't surrender in 3 days, they'll start a war. It's because of the urgency of the situation that we had no choice but to disturb you. The representative of the 12 upper peaks had a bitter expression. Qin Feng had already figured out the situation. The small organization in South Africa could do anything. Now that they had a large number of these powerful mechas in their hands, it would be very terrifying if they really started a large-scale war. Lu Bingbing also realized the situation and immediately said, "Qin Feng, I'll go with you." "No need, I'll go alone to take a look. It's just a bunch of broken mechas. They can't do anything." Qin Feng was very confident. Now that he had stepped into Stage 2 Immortal Qi realm, he naturally wasn't afraid of those mechas. However, he was a little confused. Where did these mechas come from? Could it be that there was something similar to the Supreme Mecha System in China's secular world? Seeing that Qin Feng was willing to go, the 12 upper peaks heaved a sigh of relief. With young Master Qin's help, I believe this crisis can be resolved. That's right, young Master Qin. This time, the countries have formed an alliance and agreed to meet at a contact point near Neil's Nest at 9 a.m. the day after tomorrow. At that time, the countries will join forces and destroy that evil organization. The 12 upper peaks said some important things, but Qin Feng didn't care. He could deal with this matter alone. But it didn't matter to him if the other countries wanted to go. Once they were done with their business, the 12 upper peaks tactfully left. Lu Bingbing was more or less worried. That was a group of mechas with great destructive power. Could Qin Feng really go alone? "Qin Feng, I'll go with you to Neil's Nest tonight." Lu Bingbing hugged Qin Feng tightly. After being reunited after half a year, she didn't want to leave Qin Feng's side for even a second. The battle between the two hadn't ended yet. Qin Feng's stomach was burning, and he pushed Lu Bingbing down on the sofa in the living room. They fought until dusk. Qin Feng wore his clothes contentedly and went to the airport. Lu Bingbing wanted to follow, but he persuaded her to stay. There was already a private plane waiting for Qin Feng at the airport. The other countries sent many elite troops for this operation, but Qin Feng came alone from China. Moreover, Qin Feng sat on the plane with a relaxed expression. Those who didn't know would think he was going on a vacation. The plane arrived on time. It was 8 a.m. in South Africa, and there was still an hour before the 9 a.m. meeting time. Qin Feng had been here before, so he had a good understanding of the surrounding terrain. However, he still didn't know where the base of the organization with the mechas was. He could only find the contact point first, then go with the people from the other countries. In a forest, Qin Feng found a temporary contact point. This part of the forest was already occupied by soldiers from various countries. Many people were patrolling, and there were a few tents set up in the depths of the forest. The leaders of the various countries' troops gathered together to discuss strategies. "Hey, who are you? Don't take another step forward or else you'll die." Just as Qin Feng walked into the forest, a few English guys pointed their guns at him and shouted. Qin Feng acted as if he didn't hear them, and continued to walk forward. Bang, bang, bang. Suddenly, a series of gunshots rang out. Hundreds of bullets were fired at Qin Feng at the same time. Many soldiers from other countries heard the news and rushed over, thinking that their base had been discovered. The gunshots soon stopped, and the few English guys who fired the shots walked toward the place where Qin Feng was standing. They weren't on guard at all, thinking that Qin Feng had been shot into a hornet's nest. However, as soon as they walked in front of him, a few of them screamed, "Oh no, that person isn't dead. Everyone be careful. The enemy has entered the range of our contact point. How could he not be dead? Is there anyone who can dodge hundreds of bullets?" The crowd was in chaos. The few English guys who fired the shots were shocked, as if they had seen a ghost. Soon, hundreds of people rushed over from nearby. These were the elite forces from various countries. "What's going on? Our contact point has been discovered by the enemy? Commander, what should we do now? Should we evacuate? Where's the enemy? Why can't I see a single person?" The people who rushed over did not understand the situation at all. Other than the teams from their countries, there was no one else in the forest. Friends who read books, you can search for Blue Book Bar, and you'll find this site as soon as possible. Chapter 1500. In the middle of the crowd, a young man in white had appeared out of nowhere. He looked around and realized that many countries' underground forces had come this time. The American Blood Tribe, the British Holy Knights, the Far East Army, the Russian Pope's troops. These people were the most secretive and powerful forces in their respective countries. Even the locals probably didn't know of their existence, just like the Dragon Sect's position in Huaxia. Each team had around 10 people, and they were dressed differently. It was strange for them to be gathered in the forest. After Qin Feng scanned everyone, someone finally discovered that he had snuck in. "Who are you? Everyone be careful. The enemy really sneaked in. Brat, put your hands on your head and squat on the ground. Otherwise we'll kill you." Everyone spoke in English. Qin Feng had bought a language skill book a long time ago, so English was nothing to him. Qin Feng's expression didn't change when he was surrounded by over 100 people. He said indifferently, "I'm someone sent by Huaxia to destroy the mecha organization's nest at Neil's Nest. Take me to the mecha organization's nest now. The sooner we destroy it, the sooner everyone can go home." Everyone was stunned, and they gradually relaxed their vigilance. However, when they saw that Huaxia had only sent Qin Feng alone, and that Qin Feng was young and arrogant, the crowd was instantly displeased. "What's wrong with Huaxia? You're the only one they sent. What's the use of a brat like you? I think Huaxia is purposely avoiding us. Brat, we're going to attack the mecha organization this time. Do you know how powerful those mechas are? Hurry up and call your Huaxia higher-ups to send more experts over." Everyone complained. Not only did they look down on Qin Feng, but they also scolded Huaxia. Qin Feng originally didn't plan on finding this contact point. He didn't know where the mecha organization was. Otherwise, he would have destroyed those mechas by himself. "Are you questioning my strength?" Qin Feng's expression turned cold. However, the crowd did not take him seriously at all. An old man walked out from the Russian papal troops. "You heard it right. We are very doubtful of your strength, and at the same time, we are also very dissatisfied with Huaxia's attitude. This time, all the countries are working together to annihilate the mecha organization of Neil's Nest, and you Huaxia actually sent a little piece of trash like you here. What is the meaning of this?" A middle-aged man riding a fine horse from England stepped forward as well. "Why should Pope San get angry at these ants? Since Huaxia isn't going to help out this time, we'll join forces to denounce Huaxia after we destroy the mecha organization. There's not much time left." Everyone continued to study the strategy. "Ignore that guy. Brat, hurry up and scram. We'll pretend that Huaxia never came to this joint mission." Everyone ostracized Qin Feng. Qin Feng said lazily, "You want to destroy the mecha organization with just you people? I think whoever goes will die." The crowd was about to return to their tents when they suddenly stopped. Pope Shah's expression was cold. As the leader of the Russian pontiffs, he was also the oldest in the group. Even the mysterious powers of other countries respected him. Who would have thought that a youth in his early 20s would say such arrogant things? "Brat, I think you're looking for trouble. Pope Sha roared and suddenly slapped his palm toward Qin Fun. No one knew what this person cultivated. A golden holy light shot out from his palm, bringing with it a berserk aura. It was comparable to Huaxia True Energy Stage 2. Rumble. There was a loud explosion. The earth-shattering commotion shocked the crowd. Many people had playful expressions on their faces. It was as if they could already see Qin Fun being smashed into pieces by this palm. However, their smiles suddenly froze on their faces. Qin Fun stood where he was, not giving way at all. With a light flick of his sleeve, the golden light in the air dissipated, and the berserk airflow quickly calmed down. The forest quieted down, as if nothing had happened. However, everyone was shocked. When they looked at Qin Fun again, their gazes were a little strange. Pope Sha was also shocked. Although he only used 70% of his power, he was surprised that Qin Fun could break it so easily. "You're the most powerful pope in Russia? That's all you've got?" Qin Fun stood with his hands behind his back, looking indifferent. They were surrounded by mysterious forces from various countries. Pope Sha was so angry that his beard was crooked after being looked down upon by Qin Fun in public. He let out an enraged roar and launched another palm strike. "Brat, I was going easy on you just now. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." Rumble. This palm strike caused an even louder sound. The golden light was like a sword gleam that was 10,000 feet long. Many people exclaimed, and were forced to retreat by the powerful aura. The originally crowded battle circle now had an empty space of more than 10 meters. Only Qin Fun was left standing in it. Facing such a powerful attack, Qin Fun still didn't dodge. Seeing that the golden gleam was about to pierce through his body, he lightly slapped out with his palm. The seemingly soft and powerless attack instantly exploded the air in front of him. Rumble. The two forces collided in the air, creating a loud sound like a train colliding. The dazzling golden light instantly dissipated, and Pope Sha's attack also disappeared. However, Qin Fun's palm wind was still whistling in the air. Pope Sha's expression changed drastically. He couldn't dodge in time, and was sent flying dozens of meters away. The sound of his landing was so loud that everyone's eyeballs and jaws dropped. Everyone looked at Qin Fun in disbelief. They even suspected that their eyes were playing tricks on them. "Brat, how dare you disrespect Pope Sha? You're courting death." The dozen or so followers who came with Pope Sha all rushed forward. These people were much weaker than Pope Sha. Even though they had a huge advantage in numbers, they couldn't withstand Qin Fun's attack at all. Rumble. With that simple palm strike, more than 10 people were sent flying at the same time. The people who were in shock were even more shocked. They finally realized that the Chinese young man in front of them was a peerless expert. What a powerful brat. "Let me, King Far East, fight you." However, in the crowd, a middle-aged man suddenly rushed out on a tall Fergana horse. As soon as the war horse arrived in front of Qin Fun, it raised its front hooves and kicked Qin Fun with a roar. This Fergana horse is rare, but its breed isn't pure enough. Qin Fun casually leaned his body to the side. The warhorse's attack missed, and almost threw King Far East off the horse's back. "Brat, what do you know? This is the purest Fergana horse. It's the king of horses selected from tens of thousands of warhorses." King Far East's face was full of anger, but Qin Fun curled his lips disapprovingly. With a thought, a fiery red horse seemed to step on the sky. Qin Fun jumped onto the horse's back and shouted at King Far East, "Since you're good at horsemanship, I'll compete with you." Everyone was shocked. The Far East army had always been famous for their horsemanship. No one on earth could beat them in horsemanship. Now Qin Fun actually challenged them to a battle. Was he overestimating his abilities, or did he really have the ability? The king of the Far East was also stunned. He stared at the warhorse beneath Qin Fun with a burning gaze. The fiery red Fergana horse seemed to have intelligence, and its eyes were filled with the light of wisdom. It was much more outstanding than the Lai Hui he was riding. "My goodness, you're the first person who dares to challenge me in horsemanship. Today, I'll show you the power of my Far East army." King Far East's interest was piqued. He wasn't afraid because of Qin Fun's strength. Instead, he felt excited. Inferno's speed was very fast, and it jumped several meters high. Without waiting for the warhorse to land, King Far East's spear quickly stabbed out. bringing with it the sound of wind breaking. The crowd exclaimed. This spear was incomparably fierce, as if it could pierce through a small hill. However, Qin Feng was not afraid at all as he rode on the fire dragon horse. His large hand stabbed into the air. That action was very strange, and the crowd couldn't understand it. However, in the next moment, a fiery red spear appeared in Qin Feng's originally empty hand. The spear light shot into the sky like an arrow, scaring King Far East into hurriedly raising the shield in his left hand to block. Bang 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 bang. The spear light fell as if it had hit a rock wall. The shield in King Far East's hand was made of some unknown material, but it was incomparably hard. However, under the impact of the spear light, cracks quickly appeared on the shield. The cracks quickly spread, and finally, the shield exploded in King Far East's hand, sending him flying from the horse's back. Rumble! The explosion hadn't stopped, but the crowd was completely dumbfounded. Whether it was Pope Sha or King Far East, they were both the strongest underground kings who dominated a country. Unexpectedly, both of them were defeated by Qin Feng, and they couldn't even withstand a single move from the other party. Everyone's expressions changed drastically. They looked at Qin Feng again, and the contempt in their eyes disappeared, replaced by awe and shock. Seeing that their boss had been injured, the dozen or so people from the Far East army had already surrounded Qin Feng. However, before they could make a move, King Far East forcefully suppressed the chaotic blood and qi in his body and shouted, "Don't act recklessly. You're no match for him." A few people ran over to help King Far East up. At this time, the members of the Russian church also got up from the ground. Everyone was still surrounding Qin Feng, but they had stood 2 meters away from Qin Feng before. Now they were more than 10 meters away, not daring to approach. "General Qin? You're General Qin Feng?" A cry of surprise suddenly came from the silent crowd. A person standing in the American vampire team ran over. The speed of the vampire members was astonishing. Before everyone could react, the person was already standing respectfully in front of Qin Feng. However, his actions confused everyone. "Are you from the American vampire?" Qin Feng asked indifferently. The man in black clothes and red cloak, who looked like a blood-colored bat, quickly nodded. "General Qin, my name is Dirk. I'm Prince Dracula's subordinate." Qin Feng had met the vampire Prince Dracula when he was completing the William family's superpower experiment mission in the United States. Later on, the two of them became good brothers. "Is Dracula doing well now? When you go back this time, help me send my regards to him." Qin Feng nodded and said, "Friends who read books, you can search for Blue Book Bar and find this site immediately." Chapter 1501. "Yes, I'll pass on General Qin's message when I get back," Dirk said respectfully. This scene dumbfounded everyone. They were getting more and more curious about Qin Feng's identity. This person looked young, but he was very skilled. He even made the American blood breeds respect him so much. Who was this Chinese young man? Qin Feng chatted with Dirk for a bit, and found out that Dracula was doing another urgent mission. Once things were settled, Dracula would rush over to Neil's nest immediately. Dirk realized everyone's suspicions about Qin Feng's identity, so he quickly introduced him to everyone. "Everyone, this is the Chinese young man at the peak of martial arts, young hero Qin. He once worked together with our Prince Dracula to complete a difficult mission. He's been given the rank of general by the U.S. Dirk tossed out deep-sea bombs one after another, causing the crowd to exclaim in shock. "Oh my god, this is the famous young hero Qin." "I'm sorry. If I knew young hero Qin's identity, I wouldn't have fought you. No wonder China only sent one person. Young hero Qin is enough." Qin Feng heard the discussions. The people who looked down on him not long ago were now sucking up to him. Even he didn't realize that his fame had spread beyond China and the world. Actually, this was all because of the battle on the island that made him famous. At that time, Qin Feng had single-handedly led the defeated Chinese warships and defeated the 6 ninjas of Japan. Later on, he had even destroyed the American fighter jets. From then on, he had become famous. Qin Feng was used to this kind of flattery. He said indifferently, "Let's talk business. Where's the mecha organization's base?" Only then did everyone remember Neil's nest's purpose. Dirk quickly said, "Young hero Qin, the mecha organization's base hasn't been confirmed yet." Qin Feng was stunned. "Not confirmed? Then how do we fight?" "Young hero Qin, we just got here, and are waiting for them to send out a message. Once they send out a signal, we'll be able to confirm their location within 10 minutes. Pope Sha came over with a fawning expression. No one would believe that he had been yelling at Qin Feng not long ago. After knowing the situation, Qin Feng was depressed. It turned out that these people didn't even know where the mecha organization was. If he had known, he would have gone to find it himself. Everyone had already led Qin Feng to the command center's tent. There were many soldiers standing guard around the tent. These soldiers were all elite special forces from various countries. However, in this operation, they were completely backup forces, mainly responsible for patrolling. The space in the tent was limited, and only the leaders of the special forces of each country could enter. Even so, more than 10 people had gathered in the tent. There was a table in the middle of the empty space, and on it was a map of Neil's nest. It seemed like these people were discussing countermeasures before Qin Feng arrived. "Young hero Qin, how do you think we should attack the mecha organization?" Pope Sha approached him with a smile. Before Qin Feng came, he was everyone's commander. Qin Feng casually glanced at the map, then raised his head to look at the crowd. "How do we fight? We'll just kill our way over and kill those guys." Everyone was speechless. Wasn't this kind of playstyle a little too low-end? The other party wasn't a normal organization. They had mechas with great destructive power. If they attacked recklessly, there would be heavy casualties. "Young hero Qin, we were discussing using spies. First, we'll send people to infiltrate the base of the mecha organization and get the map and distribution of power. Then we'll attack at night and try to destroy this mecha organization," Pope Sha said carefully. Qin Feng pouted. "It was just a mecha organization. Was there a need to go through so much trouble? Your suggestion is a waste of time. If you want to do that, I won't stop you. Now, your focus is to find the exact location of the mecha organization as soon as possible, so I can kill my way over and destroy them." Qin Feng's words were domineering. Everyone was speechless. Even though they knew Qin Feng's identity, no one had high hopes for his suggestion. That mecha organization had created at least 50 mecha operators, and each mecha operator's combat power was stronger than the most advanced American Air Force fighter jets. How could they just charge in like that? Wasn't that suicidal? "General Qin, shouldn't you be thinking about the strategy?" Dirk asked carefully. He also felt that something bad would happen if they did that. Qin Feng couldn't be bothered to explain. He waved his hand and said, "Just do as I say. Find out the location of the mecha organization's base as soon as possible." Since he was determined, no one dared to object. The experts of over 10 countries started to get busy. Soon good news came. "Young hero Qin, the mecha organization's base has been found. It's in a valley 20 kilometers northwest of us." Pope Sha ran into the tent excitedly. Qin Feng was suddenly energized. After waiting for so long, he could finally act. "All right, you guys stay here. I'll go take a look." Qin Feng walked out of the tent. The leaders of the mysterious organizations from more than a dozen countries immediately followed him out. Pontiff Sha tried to persuade him. "Young Master Qin, why don't we discuss our strategy again? We can't just go in recklessly. We all know that General Qin is powerful, but the other party is a group of mechas with great destructive power." Everyone tried to persuade Qin Feng. They didn't know how powerful Qin Feng was. Qin Feng said impatiently, "All right, I'm going alone, not asking you guys to come with me. If anyone says anything else, don't blame me for being impolite." Once he said this, everyone immediately shut up. Everyone had seen how powerful he was. There wasn't a single person present who wasn't afraid of him. However, what surprised Qin Feng was that these people all followed him and didn't want to leave. "What are you guys doing?" Qin Feng stopped walking. Everyone was embarrassed. Many of them stuttered and couldn't say anything. In the end, Dirk pulled Qin Feng to one side and said softly, "General Qin, to tell you the truth, The various countries didn't just come to destroy the mecha organization this time. Qin Feng was stunned. What else is there? According to the information obtained by the various countries, that mecha organization obtained a mecha blueprint. It's also because of that blueprint that they were able to mass-produce so many mechas. This time, the various countries have sent their top forces here, all wanting to get their hands on that mecha blueprint. If we have these super high-tech blueprints, then the country's technological and armed forces will be greatly enhanced in the future. Dirk didn't hide anything. He was sincerely reporting the situation to Qin Feng as his superior. After finding out the truth, Qin Feng laughed inwardly. Since he had come here, how could the map fall into the hands of another country? After understanding the situation, Qin Feng ignored those people. If they wanted to follow, then follow. After all, the result would be the same. An elite team of over 100 people set off in a grandiose manner. Half an hour later, they arrived at the peak of a mountain. Looking into the valley at the bottom of the mountain, he could see some scattered tents and patrolling groups of people. It looked like this was the base of that mech organization. Young hero Qin, why don't we let the vampires scout out the situation first? They're very fast. Even if they're discovered, they can still escape safely. After arriving at the location, the Sand Pontiff made another suggestion. Qin Feng didn't pay any attention to this person. After sweeping his gaze around, he leapt up and ran towards the foot of the mountain. Holy shit! Where's young hero Qin? Pontiff Shah cried out in surprise. In the blink of an eye, he discovered that Qin Feng had disappeared. Everyone tensed up. At this moment, another exclamation came from the crowd. Oh my god! Young hero Qin really killed his way over alone. Everyone immediately looked towards the foot of the mountain. They saw a white silhouette flashing by. In just half a minute, he had already reached the foot of the mountain and was about to reach the mech organization's base. Disciples of the church, follow me. Pontiff Shah was the first to come back to his senses. He immediately led his people into action. The mysterious forces from the other countries also tensed up. Their main purpose for coming here was to snatch the mech blueprint. Now that Qin Feng killed his way over alone, wouldn't the blueprint fall into his hands? In an instant, over 100 elites dove down and ran towards the foot of the mountain. The people who were patrolling at the foot of the mountain soon discovered the situation. The campsite was instantly in a mess. Oh no, the enemy is sneaking an attack. Holy shit! Are all the teams from the other countries here? These big countries are really sly foxes. They said that they want to submit to our base, but they secretly sent people to attack us. Quick, go and inform the chief. The enemy is attacking. Just when Qin Feng arrived at the side of a tent, he saw the crowd suddenly in chaos. He looked back and realized that Pontiff Shah and the others had also rushed down. However, Qin Feng didn't care about this. He ran all the way. He was as fast as lightning. No one even noticed his existence. Soon, Qin Feng arrived at a building that looked like a factory. He suspected that this was where the mechs were manufactured. Who are you? Why is your skin so white? Oh no, this guy is an enemy. Quick, capture him. Just when he arrived at the factory entrance, a few black guards rushed over. Qin Feng casually slapped his palm. Before the dozen of people could aim with their hunting rifles, they were blown into pieces. Qin Feng swaggered into the factory. It was filled with large machines. The rumbling of the machines could be heard. Other than the patrolling guards, there were also many workers in uniforms walking around. Hey, where did you come from, kid? Why haven't I seen you before? Just when he walked to the center of the factory, a dozen patrolling guards surrounded him. Qin Feng continued walking with an indifferent expression. It was as if he didn't hear those people's shouts. One of the black men's expression darkened. He suddenly fired a shot towards the roof. Kid, I'm talking to you. Are you a worker here or not? The black man spoke in African language. Qin Feng didn't really understand. What are you blabbering about? If you don't want to die, get out now. Those who read books, you can search Blue Book Bar. You'll be able to find this site immediately. Chapter 1502. Qin Feng spoke in English. Many of the workers seemed to understand, and their expressions became tense. The dozen or so guards didn't understand, but they could see from Qin Feng's cold expression that this young guy seemed to be looking for trouble. Sawaka, Nanaka Wakakaha, Wudu Saya Wakaka Li. At this time, a local suddenly ran to the guard's side and started babbling. After hearing this, the guard's expression changed. He glared at Qin Feng angrily and shouted, Kwawala Nanaka Sikawa. Qin Feng rolled his eyes. Just as he was about to slap this idiot to death, he heard the local running over yell at him. Our guard leader asked who you are. How dare you come to our territory and behave atrociously? Put your hands on your head and squat on the ground, or else we'll shoot. This person actually knew English. Although his pronunciation was a bit awkward, Qin Feng understood what he meant. Realizing that the other party was threatening him, a cold smile flashed across Qin Feng's face. I came from Huaxia to destroy you. If you can tell me where the mecha blueprint is hidden, I can spare your lives. After hearing Qin Feng's words, the interpreter opened his mouth in shock. Clearly, he didn't expect Qin Feng to have the courage to say such arrogant words. The guard leader was a bit impatient and shouted at the interpreter, Hey, idiot! What is that guy saying? The interpreter quickly replied, He said he wants to steal our mecha blueprints. The dozen or so guards were stunned and looked at Qin Feng as if they were looking at an idiot. Mecha blueprints were the most important thing in their base. This thing would lead them to rapid development, and it was even possible for them to dominate the whole world. How could they hand over such an important thing? Is there something wrong with you, kid? You dare to steal our mecha blueprints by yourself? The guard leader's face was full of anger. He really couldn't understand what was going on. Could it be that Huaxia was a group of pigs? Whoosh! Qin Feng's patience ran out. He raised his hand, and a fire blade flew out. However, the fire blade was too fast and very quiet, so no one noticed its existence. In the next second, the cold-faced guard leader suddenly covered his neck, his eyes filled with fear. The other guards noticed something was wrong, and the scene became chaotic. Lega Jobumakpona Kuka Dracula. One of the men didn't even have time to call out the leader's full name when he saw the leader lying in a pool of blood. He hurriedly dropped the name and shouted, Big brother, what happened to you? Not good. Big brother's head fell off. For a moment, the noisy factory suddenly fell into a dead silence. The guard leader's head was separated from his body, and his eyes were wide open. Just looking at him was enough to scare people to death. Even the members of the South African evil organization, who were numb to killing, were stunned by this scene. They did not even understand the situation. They thought to themselves, Big brother was fine just now. Why did he suddenly die? It's you. This Huaxia pig dares to kill our big brother, and wants to steal the mecha blueprint. Everyone kill him quickly. The crowd finally came to their senses. In an instant, more than 10 people raised their rifles and fired at Qin Feng. Bang 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 bang. Gunshots rang out, scaring the group of staff into crouching in the corner. The translator also retreated a few meters away with his head in his hands. More than 10 men fired randomly. They fired at the spot where Qin Feng had been standing based on memory. Only when they ran out of bullets did they come back to their senses. Looking at the empty ground before them, they were so scared that cold sweat broke out on their backs. Where is he? Has he been turned into mincemeat? How is that possible? There's not even a drop of blood on the ground. That Huaxia pig ran away. More than 10 people fired at the same time, and a living person actually ran away. This kind of thing really subverted everyone's common sense. However, at this moment, a gust of wind suddenly blew, and the dust on the ground blocked everyone's vision. However, a white-clothed youth stood amidst the dust. He casually threw, and more than 10 bullets flew out from his hand. These were the bullets that the members of the mecha organization had shot just now. Bang 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 bang. The muffled sound of bullets piercing through bodies rang out. After those bullets were thrown out from Qin Feng's hand, their speed and power were even more intense than those fired from rifles. More than a dozen men didn't even have time to scream before they fell in a row in a disorderly manner. As the dust settled, the workers hiding in the corner cried out in shock. They looked at Qin Feng in terror, wondering if this guy was a human or a ghost. "You don't come over, The translator survived, not because he dodged Qin Feng's bullets, but because Qin Feng spared his life. At this moment, the man no longer had his previous arrogance. His body trembled, and he didn't even have the strength to run. Around him were his dead companions, and the ground was covered in blood. It felt like hell. If you want to live, it's very simple. Immediately take me to find the mecha blueprints. Qin Feng's voice was cold. The translator had no other choice. He forced himself to crawl up. Be big brother, follow me. I know where the blueprints are. Qin Feng followed the man all the way to the innermost area of the factory, and finally stopped at a large door. In front of them was a row of cement and steel walls. In the middle were two large silver doors, made of an unknown material. Big brother, this is the research base that produces mechas. The blueprints are inside. No, but my status is low, so I can't enter the research area. Also, this door needs a password to open. The translator looked at Qin Feng carefully. He was afraid that Qin Feng would suspect that he was lying and kill him with one palm. Qin Feng had already retreated 2 steps, and casually struck out with his palm. Boom! Instantly, a loud noise shook the heavens. The man was so scared that he took to his heels and ran. Halfway through, he suddenly stopped. Looking at the special password door that suddenly collapsed, his eyeballs fell to the ground. When the 2 doors fell to the ground shook, and the situation in the laboratory could be seen at a glance. Dozens of researchers wearing uniforms were stunned. They looked at Qin Feng dumbfoundedly, not knowing what was going on. Fuck! What happened? Why did the door to the laboratory collapse? There were guards in the research area, and there were more of them than outside. In an instant, more than 50 armed men rushed out and surrounded Qin Feng. Seeing that his people had come, the translator, who had been scared out of his wits, became smug again. He hurriedly ran to the side of his companions and shouted to one of the leaders. Bag, that guy is a bastard sent by China to steal our mecha blueprints. Quickly kill him. The faces of the dozens of guards darkened. The mecha blueprints were their treasures. No matter who came to steal them, they would kill them. At the same time, everyone was puzzled. They only saw Qin Feng alone. Was there something wrong with this guy's brain? He dared to steal the blueprints alone. As soon as they came back to their senses, more than 10 strong men rushed out. They didn't even plan to use their guns to kill Qin Feng. Instead, they pulled out sharp daggers from their waists and pounced on him. Qin Feng's expression didn't change. He lightly struck out a few times. Suddenly there was a loud noise. The entire laboratory was suddenly swept up by strong winds and huge waves. There were even flames flickering in the wind and waves. Ow ow ow! Waves of screams rose and fell. The people who rushed out first had already fallen to the ground. Their bodies were burned black, and it felt like they had been struck by lightning. The remaining people were stunned. They didn't know what was going on. That guy is a bit strange. Everyone quickly shoot him to death. Bag suddenly came to his senses. He didn't dare to get close to Qin Feng. He raised his gun and fired from more than 10 meters away. For a moment, gunshots rang out everywhere. The bullets flew in the air as if they were free. However, the place where Qin Feng had been standing was already empty. The bullets landed on the wall and the ground, making violent crashing sounds. It was the first time Bag and the others had seen Qin Feng's power. When the bullets finished shooting, they were completely dumbfounded. The translator was even more shocked. He had seen Qin Feng's miracle of dodging bullets earlier. He had thought that Qin Feng had survived because he was lucky. Now the translator understood that Qin Feng had relied on his strength. What's going on? Where is he? Bag shouted, suppressing the panic in his heart. Just as he finished speaking, a white shadow landed in front of him. Are you looking for me? What's the matter? Qin Feng appeared unscathed. The crowd screamed in fear. It was as if they had seen a ghost. Bag's arrogance had long disappeared. His legs were secretly trembling. He stammered for a long time, and couldn't even speak a complete sentence. Qin Feng casually swatted his head and sent it flying. Rumble! With a loud noise, Bag flew and landed on the ground. He didn't know where his head had gone. The remaining members of the organization were completely scared. Some threw away their guns and ran away. Some were so scared that their legs were weak, and they didn't even have the strength to run away. Do you have a problem with me? Qin Feng didn't care about the people who were running away. His figure flashed and stood in front of the translator. He could only understand the words of the translator. The translator was so scared that he sat on the ground. He thought that Bag and the other 50 people were enough to kill Qin Feng. In just a minute, Bag and the other 10 people were killed, and the rest of the organization members were scared away. Big brother, don't kill me. I really surrender to you this time. I won't dare to betray you again. The translator's voice trembled violently. Qin Feng carried him into the lab like he was carrying a chicken. The guards in the lab all ran away. The staff were so scared by the gunfight that they fled in all directions. At this time, it was as chaotic as a vegetable market. Qin Feng didn't care about the staff who were running away. He grabbed the translator and walked into the lab. This experimental base was very large. The experimental area was filled with all kinds of advanced scientific and technological instruments. When Qin Feng walked to the inner area, he could already see the mold of a space capsule. There were similar mechas in the space capsule, but they hadn't been completely formed yet. How many mechas have your base produced? Qin Feng asked. The translator was now telling him everything he knew. Big brother, our leader Turkus plans to build 100 mecha. Currently 50 mecha are in normal use, and the other 50 are in production. Friends who read books, you can search for the blue book bar, and you will find this site as soon as possible. Chapter 1503. Sometimes, Qin Feng felt that being too strong wasn't a good thing. Now he wandered around the mecha organization's research base alone. Not even an enemy dared to stop him. He even had a translator to help him find the blueprints. Soon, the blueprints were found. The blueprints were recorded in a computer, and there were hundreds of them in one set. Master, these are the blueprints for the Black Dragon and White Phoenix mecha. After seeing the blueprints, Little Pig's voice suddenly came. Qin Feng had always wondered where the mechas built by the mecha organization had come from, and now he finally understood. There was an 80% chance that Hua Xiao, the owner of the ultimate mecha system, left the blueprints and was discovered. This group of people built mechas according to the blueprints. However, Hua Xiao's Black Dragon mecha and White Phoenix mecha were very powerful. Even Qin Feng, who was at stage 4 true Qi, found it difficult to deal with him. But now, the South African organization's mechas were greatly weakened. They could only reach the power of a stage 2 true Qi expert. Master, they probably lack the materials to build the mechas. You have to know that the Black Dragon and White Phoenix mechas are products of the Star Technology interface. They need some special rare minerals to build them. The other party used other materials. Although they managed to build the mechas, their strength is not as good as before. Little Pig's explanation made Qin Feng completely understand. Qin Feng had already started. He made a copy of the mecha blueprints and destroyed the original computer. This way, he was the only one who had the blueprints. After getting the blueprints, Qin Feng didn't leave in a hurry. There were still 50 semi-finished mechas in the lab. Qin Feng put them into the Jade Spirit Ring one by one. 5 minutes later, the lab seemed to have been ransacked. The translator was shocked. Big brother, where are the semi-finished mechas? Qin Feng glared at him coldly. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. The translator immediately shut his mouth. He realized that Qin Feng must have taken away the mechas. However, the translator was puzzled. Where did this guy hide those 50 mechas? When Qin Feng finished his mission and swaggered out of the factory, he heard the sounds of intense fighting outside. Dirk and the others had already rushed to the base, but as soon as they arrived, they were engaged in a fierce battle with the people from the mecha organization. The sky was filled with bullets and artillery fire. Realization dawned on Qin Feng. No wonder there was not a single enemy figure to be seen in the laboratory. It turned out that all the members of this mecha organization were out fighting with the mysterious forces of other countries. The battle was extremely intense. The members of the mecha organization each had a submachine gun in their hands, and they charged and fired without any regard for their lives. Even though they were members of the mysterious forces from various countries, some of them could not withstand such a ferocious attack. Many soldiers had already fallen on the plains, their blood staining the ground. Elites of the Blood Kindred, you are in charge of eliminating the gunmen. Pope Shah roared. Suddenly, more than 10 black shadows flickered in the crowd. The vampire was known for his speed and strength. As they ran at full speed, they were like bolts of lightning. Every time they ran, a loud sound would ring out. That was the sound of their enemies exploding with a single punch. The gunshots around them gradually stopped. In this fierce battle, both sides had lost many members. There were not many people left in the mecha organization. There were only about 50 people scattered around. Suddenly, someone in the crowd roared, "Everyone, get on the mechas and kill these bastards for me." The person who shouted was the leader of the base, Tucci. As soon as he finished speaking, the dozens of mechas behind him suddenly opened their cabins, and everyone found a mecha and jumped in. Everything happened so quickly that by the time Dirk and the others came to their senses, the 50 mechas were already ready. "You bastards, how dare you barge into my base? Do you really think I, Tucci, am useless? Attack, attack." Tucci also jumped into a mecha. His voice was even louder in the mecha, and it was transmitted through a loudspeaker. Boom! As soon as Tucci's voice fell, his mecha raised both arms, and 2 homing missiles were fired, blasting 2 British paladins into pieces. The scene exploded. The members of the mysterious forces from various countries realized the danger. The mechas were more powerful than they had imagined, and there was no longer any possibility of continuing the battle. Following Tucci's shot, the group of subordinates went crazy. 50 mechas flew into the sky, and instantly, laser bullets rained down. Dozens of white smoke streaked across the sky, and the homing missiles fell to the ground like meteors. Rumble! The surroundings were filled with loud explosions. The planes were already full of holes from the explosions. These mechas could fly in the sky, and this made the members of the mysterious forces feel helpless. They couldn't fight in the sky at all. "Pope Shah, let's retreat. The enemy's firepower is too strong. This kind of head-on strategy is just courting death. Let's go back and discuss our strategy again. Sooner or later, we will destroy this organization's base." Everyone shouted at Pope Shah. He was the leader of this operation. Pope Shah couldn't hold on any longer. Just as he was about to give the order to retreat, a ball of fire appeared in midair. There seemed to be a figure standing in the fire, and it defied logic to hang in midair. That strange scene made Pope Shah and the others forget to escape. Oh my God, what is that? Could it be that the holy leader has descended? I can't believe I'm seeing the holy leader in my life. Pope Shah was so excited that his old face was twitching. No, that's young hero Qin. Finally, someone recognized the fire in midair. It was Qin Feng standing inside. He was wearing the lava-flying armor. This was the reward for completing the China Technology City mission. The lava-flying armor seemed to be burning around Qin Feng. There was also a pair of flame wings on his back. The wings moved with the wind and supported him to float in midair. When they saw this domineering spirit armor, the group of mechas were all stunned. "Who are you? Are you with those people?" Tu Kusi's cold voice sounded. He didn't attack Qin Feng directly, because he felt a trace of danger. Qin Feng said indifferently, "I was sent by China to destroy your organization. How about it? Will you surrender, or will you be killed by me?" Once he said this, the mechas in Dirk's group were stunned. Everyone looked at the flashing flames in midair in disbelief. They didn't understand where Qin Feng got his confidence from. Tu Kusi was stunned for a moment, and then he laughed out loud. "Haha, you want me to surrender? Are you joking with me? I will let you know how powerful my white feather mecha is." Suddenly a white shadow shot over. It was Tu Kusi who launched an attack. Qin Feng was suspended in midair without dodging. He could destroy the real white feather mecha with ease, let alone a replica made by Tu Kusi. Boom! A flame soared into the sky. Before Tu Kusi's figure could get close to Qin Feng, it suddenly exploded in the flames. The crowd suddenly exclaimed. Dirk and the others looked at the sky dumbfoundedly. That was a mecha with amazing defense. Who would have thought that it would be destroyed by Qin Feng in one move? The originally arrogant mechas suddenly quieted down. They couldn't even believe their eyes. But a moment later, someone suddenly shouted, "That Chinese pig killed our leader Tu Kusi. Everyone fight him." More than 40 mechas rushed over, like more than 40 fighter jets surging forward. This battle formation was so powerful that Dirk and the others retreated dozens of meters away in fear. However, Qin Feng was still suspended in mid-air without dodging. When he saw the mechas surrounding him, the weather changed dramatically, and a violent snowstorm blew. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The wind was cold, and it seemed like it was going to blow away everything. In the snowstorm, the speed of the mechas instantly slowed down. Their machine guns and turrets were even frozen, and they couldn't even fire bullets. Qin Feng stood in the snowstorm, surrounded by more than 40 mechas. He suddenly swung his saber, and a golden light shone out of the snowstorm, followed by Qin Feng's sigh. Sigh. I wanted to keep these mechas and bring them back to the country. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Boom. As soon as he finished speaking, a loud sound rang out. The mechas around him made a subtle shattering sound, but the sound became more and more intense. The cracks on the mechas spread rapidly, and finally, they exploded into pieces at a speed visible to the naked eye. Rumble. Dozens of mechas bloomed like fireworks, igniting half the sky. Fragments of the mechas fell all over the ground, and many of them shot at the feet of Dirk and the others. Everyone looked up at the sky in unison, their eyes full of shock. The loud sound continued, and Qin Feng had already landed. He put away the lava-flying armor on his body, and wore a white robe with long hair fluttering in the wind. His appearance was delicate, and his body was a little weak. No one would believe that he had single-handedly destroyed those 50 mecha with such destructive power. Is it over? After a long time, everyone finally came to their senses, but the shock in their eyes didn't fade. This young hero Qin is too powerful, right? No wonder he even destroyed the US fighter jets. I always thought that was Huaxia exaggerating. With young hero Qin in Huaxia, which country would dare to offend Huaxia? He's too powerful. He single-handedly destroyed the entire mecha organization. He's too fucking powerful. The people who could stand here were all top mysterious powerhouses from all over the world. They represented the strength of their country's martial arts. Now that they saw Qin Feng's skills, everyone started to feel that Huaxia's martial arts were beyond their reach. After Qin Feng destroyed the mecha organization, he left alone as if nothing happened. The crowd suddenly came to their senses, and they hurriedly followed him. Young hero Qin, where are you going? Pope Sha asked with a face full of smiles. Qin Feng stopped, looked at him, and said, Do I have to report to you where I'm going? Pope Sha's heart trembled. After witnessing Qin Feng's strength just now, he realized that talking to Qin Feng was a huge pressure. Those who want to read books, you can search Blue Book Bar, and you'll find this site as soon as possible. Chapter 1504. Young hero Qin, you must be joking. How would I dare to interfere in your business? Pope Sha quickly said. Qin Feng's expression turned cold. Then why are you still talking? With that, Qin Feng turned around and continued to leave. The group of people looked tormented, but they still followed him in the end. Qin Feng knew what these people were thinking. The main reason they came here wasn't to destroy the mecha organization, but to obtain the mecha blueprints. King Far East mustered up his courage and said, Young hero Qin, why you were the first to enter the mecha organization? Did you find the mecha blueprints? After asking this, everyone's hearts were in their throats. They were afraid that Qin Feng would be unhappy and kill them all. Of course I found the mecha blueprints. Otherwise, why would I leave? Qin Feng didn't hide anything. Everyone's eyes lit up. The mechas created by the mecha organization were very advanced. Even the United States, a technological powerhouse, couldn't create such perfect mechas. If this new technology was obtained by everyone, it meant that the country's future technology would be powerful. Hee. Young hero Qin, before we came here, we discussed that no matter who gets the mecha blueprints, we will make a copy for everyone else, Pope Sha said with a smile. Qin Feng looked at him suspiciously. Are you sure there's such an agreement? Pope Sha smiled guiltily. How could there be such an agreement? He just wanted to fool Qin Feng. Young hero Qin, how could I dare lie to you? If you don't believe me, ask everyone else. Pope Sha was also a scheming person. He threw the problem to everyone with one sentence. He planned to make everyone bear the price of lying. However, the other countries couldn't expose Pope Shah's lie, because everyone wanted the blueprints. Cough cough. Young hero Qin, Pope Shah is right. We have such an agreement, King Far East said with a red face. The leader of the British Paladins also expressed his stance. Yes, we have an agreement. The people from more than a dozen countries all expressed their stances and lied. However, Dirk didn't say anything, but he didn't expose the lie either. Qin Feng could tell what these people were thinking at a glance. He stopped and glanced at the hundreds of elites. His voice was indifferent. You don't have to act in front of me. I don't care if you had such an agreement or not. The blueprints are on me now. Whoever wants them can take them. I'm just afraid you won't be able to take them away. Qin Feng was fearless in the face of experts from more than 10 countries. He stood like a pine tree, his words loud and clear like a bell. Although everyone was very dissatisfied, no one dared to stand out and fight for that mecha blueprint. In the end, Qin Feng swaggered out of Niels' nest, and the members of the mysterious forces from various countries returned dejectedly. When the higher-ups of the various countries learned of the situation, their mood was incomparably heavy. Now that the blueprint of the mecha had been obtained by China, China was going to soar in the future. In the base of Dragon Gate in China, the 12 upper peaks stood in a row, facing a white-robed youth. These 12 people had high statuses in China. There were no more than 5 people who dared to sit leisurely in front of them. Young hero Qin, you've worked hard this time. The representatives of the 12 upper peaks smiled. Qin Feng had just returned from Niels' nest and went straight to the Dragon's Gate. He didn't want to waste time talking to these 12 old men. If he had the time, he might as well go find Yan Wushuang. The mission was successfully completed, and the mecha organization was destroyed. I've also destroyed the 50 mechas they created. Qin Feng spoke as if he was talking about something insignificant, but the 12 upper peaks almost fainted from fright. Young hero Qin, you're not joking, right? You destroyed the mecha organization so quickly? Although they knew how powerful Qin Feng was, the 12 upper peaks couldn't accept it. Qin Feng took out a USB flash drive and threw it on the table. He continued, there are 2 blueprints of the mecha in here. Take them if you want. The 12 upper peaks hadn't recovered from the previous shock, and they were shocked again. The representatives of the 12 upper peaks walked over immediately. They held the USB flash drive that contained the blueprint, like it was a treasure in the world. Young hero Qin, you didn't disappoint us. You even got the blueprint of the mecha. Oh yeah, did you make a copy of this blueprint in every country in the alliance? No one else has it. I'm the only one who has it, Qin Feng said casually. The 12 upper peaks were stunned on the spot. Qin Feng had shocked them again and again. This group of old men was about to be shocked to death. After handing over the mission, Qin Feng left. The 12 upper peaks were stunned for a few minutes in the room, before they came back to their senses. They looked at the USB flash drive that contained the blueprint, as if they could already see the future of China. After leaving the Dragon's Gate, Qin Feng went straight to Yan Wushuang's private mansion. It was already late. Yan Wushuang was lying on the sofa in the living room, watching TV. Suddenly, a strong arm hugged her from behind, scaring her. Who are you? Let go of me. Yan Wushuang's voice was cold. Wushuang, it's me, Qin Feng. Qin Feng didn't tease her. He sat down next to her. Yan Wushuang, who was struggling with all her might, suddenly stopped. Her beautiful eyes were shining. She knew that Qin Feng was back, but she didn't see him these few days. Qin Feng, didn't you go to Niels' nest? Yan Wushuang laid in Qin Feng's arms obediently like a kitten. Qin Feng's gaze fell on her long and fair legs that were exposed under her black chiffon dress. His big hands were already touching them recklessly. I'm back. Yan Wushuang was shocked. She heard about the mecha organization in Niels' nest from Lu Bingbing. She knew that this mission was dangerous. Yan Wushuang asked the 12 upper peaks to transfer to South Africa to fight with Qin Feng. She didn't expect Qin Feng to be back already. Didn't you say that the mecha warriors are very powerful? Didn't your alliance defeat them? Yan Wushuang's expression became serious. She was obviously wrong. Qin Feng's big hands slid from her legs to her waist. He said with a smile, "It's just a mecha organization. There's no need for all the countries to work together. I can kill them all by myself. Now the mecha blueprint is in the hands of the 12 upper peaks. Only Huaxia has the mecha blueprint." Qin Feng briefly explained the mission. Yan Wushuang felt like she was listening to a fairy tale. Her beautiful eyes were shining. Huaxia would advance by leaps and bounds in the future. It might even become the most powerful country in the world. While she was fantasizing about the future of Huaxia, Qin Feng's hands had already moved under her black chiffon dress. Yan Wushuang felt her chest tighten. She couldn't help but grumble. "Ha, you're so annoying." Even though she said that, she still wrapped her arms around Qin Feng's neck and allowed him to explore her body. Yan Wushuang hadn't seen him for more than half a year. The loneliness she had buried in her heart burst out like a spring. Friends who want to read books, you can search for Blue Book Bar to find this site. Chapter 1505. The Neil's Nest incident made Qin Feng famous all over the world. China's reputation was re-established. This was the current Qin Feng. He was so powerful that even a country feared him. In the blink of an eye, Qin Feng had been back in China for more than 3 months. Many things happened during this time. Acropolis City and the 2 hero cities in the outer martial world developed even more. The Martial Artist Alliance was under Qin Feng's complete control. China used the mecha blueprints that Qin Feng brought back to build the first batch of 100 mechas. However, Qin Feng was more concerned about another matter. Hua Xiaojin had stayed in the secular world of Huaxia for 3 months, and her rigid mindset of the 3 obediences and 4 virtues had finally been changed. Qin Feng had successfully completed the task of changing her mindset. The mission rewarded him 100,000 hedonist points and a pair of pink aurora wings. Qin Feng had a total of 8,350,000 hedonist points. Now that Qin Feng stood at the top of the world, no one dared to offend his family and friends anymore. In these 3 months, he had accompanied the girls to live a stable and happy life. This was the life he had always strived for. However, Qin Feng did not indulge in it. He knew that this was not the end. He had not found his mother's whereabouts, and he had not figured out the system's secret. He needed to continue moving forward. For months after he returned to China, there was a commotion in the outer martial world. A shocking piece of news spread. A formation was found on the peak of Ice Lake Mountain of the inner hidden sections. It could transport people to the forbidden sections. Qin Feng rushed to Ice Lake Mountain as soon as he heard the news. Of course, he knew about the formation. It was the formation that led to China. However, if everyone knew about this, it would definitely cause a commotion among the people of China. A 1-kilometer radius around Ice Lake Mountain was cordoned off. It was evident that the Dragon sect had found out about this. They had sent people to cordon off the scene to prevent anyone from entering. "Brother, there's a murder here. The police are investigating the scene. Unauthorized personnel are not allowed in." Qin Feng was stopped by 2 police officers. The murder was just an excuse to prevent the news of the formation from spreading and causing chaos in China. How was the formation at Ice Lake Mountain discovered? When exactly did it happen? Qin Feng asked as if he did not hear what the police officer said. The 2 police officers were stunned. They did not expect the young man to know the secret. All the more reason for them not to let Qin Feng in. This was an order issued by the higher-ups of China's Dragon sect. No one other than the Dragon sect was allowed to enter the vicinity of Ice Lake Mountain. "I'm sorry, but you'd better leave immediately. Otherwise, we have the right to arrest you." One of the policemen's expression turned cold. Qin Feng did not care about this person's attitude. He took out his phone and made a call to the representative of the 12 peaks. He wanted to find this person and ask him about the situation. After the call, the police officer's face turned even colder. "Humph. I advise you to leave quickly if you know what's good for you. The Dragon sect has ordered for this place to be locked down. It's useless to call anyone." Qin Feng smiled and said nothing. The 2 police officers watched his every move like tigers watching their prey. Less than 5 minutes later, 12 old men rushed out of Ice Lord Superior?" The two policemen were dumbfounded when they saw the newcomer. Their voices trembled as they spoke. The 12 upper peaks completely ignored the two of them and respectfully walked to Qin Feng's side. "Young hero Qin, why are you here?" said the representative of the 12 peaks. "I heard that a teleportation array appeared in Ice Lake Mountain. What's going on?" Qin Feng went straight to the point. The 12 upper peaks wanted to say something but hesitated. Qin Feng understood what they meant and followed the 12 of them to a place where there was no one else. The two policemen were dumbfounded. They suddenly realized Qin Feng's identity. Thinking of this, the two of them felt a lingering fear. They thought to themselves, "How could I still be alive after offending young hero Qin?" Qin Feng and the others arrived at the base of Ice Lake Mountain. There were no more disciples in the sect. They were all settled in Hero City in the outer martial arts world. At that moment, the representative of the 12 peaks said slowly, "Young hero Qin, 3 days ago, a group of backpackers came to Ice Lake Mountain to explore. They accidentally found the teleportation array and teleported the 8 of them away. This attracted a lot of attention from the media. It was a hot topic a few days ago and caused panic among the Chinese people. Later on, the dragon sect appeared and locked down Ice Lake Mountain. Only then did the rumors gradually die down. The 12 of us saw the teleportation array, but we couldn't tell what it was. Young hero Qin, didn't you go to the despair sect? We were planning to invite you over to take a look." After Qin Feng understood what had happened, he had many doubts. The teleportation array leading to China was indeed on Ice Lake Mountain. However, the teleportation array only loosened once every 20 years. Normally, no one would find the teleportation array. However, not only did the 8 backpackers find the teleportation array, but they were also teleported away. This was truly unimaginable. "Only the 8 backpackers were teleported away?" Qin Feng asked. The representative of the 12 peaks looked bitter. If only that was the case. Because this matter was hyped up by the media a few days ago, many curious people came here to take the risk. It's impossible to count how many people have been teleported. Moreover, many of them are martial artists. They know that the teleportation array might lead to a more powerful place, so they jumped in regardless of their lives. Qin Feng realized that the situation was more serious than he had imagined. Putting aside the fact that the teleportation array leading to China had suddenly opened, many ordinary people and low-level martial artists had been teleported to China. They were like ants in China, so the odds were against them. After understanding the situation, Qin Feng rushed to the area where the teleportation array had appeared. The teleportation array leading to China did not have a fixed location. Instead, it changed between the 4 peaks of Ice Lake Mountain. Qin Feng and the 12 peaks stood on the north peak for more than half an hour. Suddenly, a weak light appeared. It was not the first time the 12 peaks had seen this teleportation array, but they were still shocked. "I'll go to China to take a look. You guys guard Ice Lake Mountain. Don't let anyone teleport through the teleportation array anymore." Qin Feng's voice was still echoing in the valley, but he had already disappeared in the weak white light. This was not the first time he had entered the teleportation array. However, he realized that the teleportation array had changed. The violent airwaves became very weak. Even ordinary people could withstand the impact. Qin Feng felt more at ease. It seemed that the ordinary people who had teleported to China through the teleportation array had not died in the teleportation array. However, it was hard to say what would happen to them after they reached China. "Haha boss, more people are here." As soon as Qin Feng landed in China, he heard an evil laugh. He took a brief look at the terrain. He was now in the bamboo forest on the outskirts of Heyu village. It was the same place where he had first teleported. There were more than 10 strong men around him. Each of them carried a broadsword and were glaring at Qin Feng. 2 of the brawny men had fierce expressions on their faces as they shouted at Qin Feng. "Brat, this is China. How dare you outsiders come in? You must be tired of living. Hurry up and hand over all your valuables. If we're in a good mood, we might spare your life." Qin Feng's expression was indifferent. He did not care about their threats at all. He asked, "How long have you been here? Where did the people who came in before go?" The 2 burly men who had asked the question suddenly froze. They had been here for 3 days and 3 nights. All the people they had met from the outside world had been humble. This was the first time they had met someone as arrogant as Qin Feng. Brat, I'm talking to you. Since when was it your turn to speak? Why does this guy look so familiar? Where have I seen him before? Someone mumbled. The others began to recall. They felt that they had seen Qin Feng before. Your sect leader Qin? Someone suddenly exclaimed. As soon as this was said, the rest of the people immediately held their breaths. They felt that the air had frozen in an instant. I've only left this place for 4 months. How dare you run amok here? Qin Feng's expression was cold. The dozen strong men confirmed Qin Feng's identity and immediately knelt on the ground. This was the sect leader of spiritual immortal sect Qin Feng. 4 months ago, he had destroyed all the powerful beings in China with his own strength. He was a godlike figure. Sect leader Qin, please don't be angry. We know our mistakes. Everyone began to kowtow. They did not care even if their heads were broken. Qin Feng was too lazy to kill these ants. He asked, where did the people from the outside world go? Why did the formation leading to China suddenly loosen? The leader of the crowd mustered up his courage and said, Sect leader Qin, we were blinded by wealth for a moment, so we decided to rob here. But we definitely did not kill anyone. Those who came from the outside world left on their own. We don't know where they are now. As for why the formation suddenly loosened, we don't understand either. And it's not just the formation leading to China that has loosened. It's said that the formation leading to a mysterious plane has also loosened. Qin Feng's expression changed drastically. The formation leading to China to a mysterious plane? Wasn't that Immortal Island? If I see you robbing again, I will kill you. Qin Feng's voice echoed in the surroundings. The strong men were so frightened that they began to kowtow again. However, after a while, they realized that Qin Feng had already disappeared. Qin Feng was rushing towards spiritual immortal sect. Now that the 2 formations had loosened, it was truly unimaginable. Qin Feng had a bad feeling that something big was about to happen. The changes in China today were huge, and all of this was caused by Qin Feng. Back then, only Thousand Shadows sect was left of the 5 venerables of China. Those old monsters at the peak of Qi Stage 9 had all fallen. Now there were not many experts at Qi Stage 9. It was a day and a night's journey from the bamboo forest of River Jade Village to spiritual immortal sect. Qin Feng could enter Immortal Island through the system, and then teleport to spiritual immortal sect through the formation of Immortal Island. However, he soon discovered a serious problem. The 2 formations leading to Immortal Island were both closed. Friends who read books, you can search for Blue Book Bar and find this site immediately. Chapter 1506. Ever since the system opened up the Immortal Island, there were 3 free teleportation formations. One of them was on Qin Feng, so he could teleport at any time. The other one was set up in the base of Celestial Souls sect. As for the 3rd formation, he hadn't used it yet. But now that the 2 formations were sealed, he couldn't teleport to Immortal Island. This made Qin Feng feel that something was wrong. Little pig, what's going on? Qin Feng asked as he rushed to Celestial Souls sect on the whirlwind golden wheel. Little pig's expression was solemn. Master, the plane leading to Immortal Island has been sealed. I'm afraid someone sensed the 2 formations Master has. Qin Feng didn't quite understand. There's someone who can seal the formations created by the Hedonist sovereign system? Who are they? Little Pig said. We can't confirm their identity. However, this large-scale sealing formation might not be targeted at the Master. According to the system's inspection, not only have Master's formations been sealed, but over 100 secret formations leading to Immortal Island have also been sealed. Qin Feng was shocked. Sealing over 100 secret formations at once was a huge feat. How could an ordinary person do it? Doesn't that mean I can't go to Immortal Island? Qin Feng was a bit depressed. The situation is complicated. The system can't give a definite answer right now. Master, you should go to Celestial Souls sect and ask about the situation before making a decision. Qin Feng sped up and flew towards Celestial Souls sect. He could already feel a strong sense of danger. Since the other party could seal the formations set up by the system, It was clear that they were extremely powerful. After rushing for an entire night, Qin arrived at Celestial Souls sect the next morning. Celestial Souls sect was now the #1 sect in China. Almost all the sect disciples that Qin destroyed had joined Celestial Souls sect. The sect was full of youthful energy. Many disciples came and went, but their expressions were somewhat solemn. "Where is sect leader Qin?" Qin stopped two disciples and asked. The two seemed to have urgent matters to attend to. One of them said impatiently, "Do you think you can see sect leader Qin just because you want to? Don't block the way, move aside." As soon as the man finished speaking, his companion's expression changed drastically. His mouth opened and closed for a long time, but not a single word came out. The disciple who shouted at Qin sensed something was amiss. He raised his head to take a closer look at Qin. He was so frightened that he fell to his knees. Sect Master Qin. This lowly one didn't recognize Sect Master Qin earlier. "Please forgive me, Sect Master." When the other disciple came back to his senses, he also knelt to the ground. Qin had suddenly left for more than 4 months, and the two of them didn't expect him to suddenly return. Qin did not mind. He said, "Cut the crap. Bring me to the Pure Dust sect leader." One of the disciples said in a trembling voice, "Sect leader Qin, something big has happened in the Divine Prefecture recently. Sect leader Qin and sect leader Qiao are not in the sect anymore." Qin became worried. What happened? The two disciples were still kneeling on the ground and didn't dare to get up. One of them said, "Recently, a hidden formation appeared in Fire Beacon City. Rumor has it that it is a formation that leads to a mysterious plane. Sect Master Qin and Sect Master Qiao brought some people to investigate the situation 3 days ago, but they still haven't returned." Qin frowned. He was worried that Qin and the others might have been teleported away by the formation. If they were really teleported to the Immortal Island plane, with Qin and the others' strength, they would only be cannon fodder. Originally, Qin came to Immortal Spirits sect to find Qin to ask about the situation. Now that he was here, he immediately rushed to Fire Beacon City. After another day and night of non-stop riding, Qin arrived at Fire Beacon City. He discovered that Fire Beacon City was overcrowded. Almost all the martial artists of the Divine Prefecture had rushed over. "You guys are also here because of the formation? I heard that the formation can teleport to a mysterious plane. Many sect leaders have been attracted over. Let me tell you a secret. That mysterious plane is the legendary Immortal Venerable Plane. If we can teleport there, breaking through to the Immortal Qi realm is just a matter of time." The people on the street were whispering and discussing. Along the way, Qin had roughly understood the situation here. He randomly pulled someone over and asked, "Where is the formation that leads to the mysterious plane? Quickly bring me there." The man he pulled revealed an unhappy expression and shouted coldly, "Humph! Who are you, brat? Do you think that anyone can go to that formation? Don't even think about it if you haven't reached stage 8 True Qi realm. That place has already been sealed by experts. Low-level martial artists going there are just courting death. No wonder the streets of Fire Beacon City were overcrowded. Those gathered here were all martial artists below stage 8 True Qi realm. They heard about the formation and rushed here. But they had no way of going to the teleportation formation." Without Qin saying anything, someone in the crowd had already recognized him. You are sect leader Qin?" With these words, the originally noisy street suddenly quieted down. The atmosphere was so cold that it was about to freeze. Everyone looked at Qin. Their eyes and jaws dropped to the ground. Qin had disappeared from the Divine Prefecture for more than 4 months. No one expected him to suddenly appear on the streets of Fire Beacon City. "Sect leader Qin, I am Su Rue, a disciple of Immortal Spirits sect. Are you looking for the formation? This little brother can bring you there." Very quickly, someone ran out from the crowd. This person was previously a disciple of the Empyrean Terminus sect. After the Empyrean Terminus sect was destroyed, he joined Immortal Spirits sect. Su Rue was only at stage 5 True Qi realm. He didn't have the qualifications to spy on the formation. But now with Qin support, he could bask in the light and go take a look. Many people in the crowd secretly sighed. They also wanted to flatter Qin Feng and go to the formation. Unfortunately, they were half a beat slower than Su Rue. Under the awe-inspiring gazes of the crowd, Qin Feng and Su Rue went to the formation. It turned out that the mysterious formation appeared at the northern outskirts of Fire Beacon City. This place was originally a mission receiving point for the Fire Beacon Hall, but after the formation appeared, this place no longer gave out missions. It was sealed off by the people of the Fire Beacon Hall, not allowing anyone to easily enter. Hey, you two, stop right there. This place has already been sealed off. Unauthorized people are not allowed to enter. Just as the two arrived outside of Fire Beacon Hall's office, they were stopped by 8 disciples. These 8 people were all at Stage 6 True Qi Realm. Every day, they would encounter hundreds of martial artists who came to spy on the formation. At this time, their attitude towards Qin Feng and Su Rue was extremely impatient. Su Rue was merely at Stage 5 True Qi Realm. When he saw these 8 people, he should have turned around and left. But now that he had Qin Feng's support, he pointed at the leader and reprimanded him. You're blind, you dog. This is Sect Master Qin of Spiritual Immortal Sect. You dare to block Sect Master Qin outside? Qin Feng's name was very useful in the Divine Continent. The expressions of the 8 people greatly changed. After carefully looking at Qin Feng, they confirmed that he really was Sect Master Qin, who was at the peak of the Divine Continent's martial Tao. It's actually Sect Master Qin. This little brother didn't see clearly before. Sect Master Qin, please come in. The guard leader's expression changed faster than flipping a book. Qin Feng didn't pay him any attention, and already swaggered inside. This Fire Beacon Hall's office was already filled with people. They were all at the top of the Divine Continent. Everyone saw that someone had come to the formation and looked over. The moment they saw Qin Feng, the entire hall was in an uproar. Damn! Am I seeing things? Is that Sect Master Qin? It really is Sect Master Qin. It seems like the rumors are true. This formation does indeed lead to the immortal venerable plane. Otherwise, why would Sect Master Qin come? If only Sect Master Qin could lead everyone into the teleportation formation. As the peak of the Divine Continent, Qin Feng's every move was watched. He ignored the crowd's discussion and followed a staff member of the Fire Beacon Hall to the back of the base. This was an open plane that was previously used to teleport everyone to the location of the mission. No one expected that the mysterious formation would appear in this area. There were also some people standing on the open ground. Qin Feng casually glanced around and saw that they were the sect masters of the various major sects in the Divine Continent. No one expected that there would still be people coming to this formation, because the sect masters and powerful venerables, who should have come over the past few days, had already arrived. However, when they recognized Qin Feng's appearance, they all rushed over anxiously. Sect Master Qin, you're back. Sect Master Qin, a teleportation formation suddenly appeared here. All of us can't understand it. Please help us take a look, Sect Master Qin. These people were all sect masters or powerful venerables in the Divine Continent. But in front of Qin Feng, they were like subordinates. Qin Feng strode to the side of the formation. There was a white light flickering in the void, appearing and disappearing from time to time. It was very magical. When did this formation appear? Qin Feng immediately asked. Everyone rushed to answer his question. Sect Master Qin, this formation appeared 3 days ago. It was first discovered by Deacon Ivan of the Fire Beacon Hall. Ivan was standing in the crowd at this moment, but he did not even have the courage to speak to Qin Feng. A few months ago, Ivan still regarded Qin Feng as a tool to earn cultivation resources. He never thought that this person would become the peak of martial arts in the Divine Continent overnight. Qin Feng looked at Ivan. Deacon Ivan, how many people have entered the formation in the past 3 days? Ivan did not dare to put on any of the airs of a deacon. He ran over and said, Sect Master Qin. When this formation first appeared, we did not pay much attention. At that time, this place was not sealed. Many disciples who came to do missions were teleported in without knowing it. After that, some powerful venerables and sect masters took the initiative to enter the formation. That's right, Sect Master Qin, Sect Master Qingchen, and Sect Master Qiao also entered the formation on their own. Qin Feng was a little anxious. He was afraid that Qin Chen and the Qiao family would be teleported out by the formation. He did not expect it to happen. For a moment, everyone gathered around and waited for Qin Feng's decision. However, Qin Feng was hesitating whether to enter the formation to investigate. He was afraid that this formation really teleported him to the Immortal Island. If that was the case, he would not be able to come out after entering. There were many immortal venerables on the Immortal Island. If he entered rashly, he would only have a slim chance of survival. Master, Hua Xiaojin and the other female masters are on the Immortal Island. At that moment, Little Pig's voice suddenly sounded. Friends who read books, you can search for Blue Book Bar and find this site immediately. Chapter 1507. Qin Fen was shocked. Why were Hua Xiaojin and the others on Immortal Island? Little Pig continued. Master, 3 days ago, the formation connecting the mortal world to the divine land loosened. Hua Xiaojin and the others probably went to the divine land and then went to Immortal Island through Immortal Sex formation. Qin Fen frowned. He had been with other women these days and didn't notice Hua Xiaojin and the others. He hurriedly used the Hero Alliance's communication function to contact Hua Xiaojin and the others. However, the function didn't respond. Little Pig, do you know which women are on Immortal Island? Qin Fen asked hurriedly. According to the system, Hua Xiaojin, Su Ruoro, Zhao Lingxian, Lin Bei, and Han Ying went to Immortal Island, Little Pig said. Qin Fen quickly understood. Previously, Han Ying and Lin Bei expressed their desire to go to the Divine Land. Qin Fen even planned to bring all the women to the Divine Land as a vacation. Unexpectedly, Lin Bei and the others went to the Divine Land on their own, and went to Immortal Island through Immortal Sex teleportation formation. This was normal, but now that the formation on Immortal Island was sealed, Han Ying and the others couldn't come out. Just as Qin Fen was feeling anxious, he heard a series of startled cries. Why is the light of the formation weakening? This formation isn't going to disappear, is it? Are we going in or not? Sect leader Qin, hurry and see what's going on. Qin Fen came back to his senses. The white light of the formation was dimming at a speed visible to the naked eye. Little Pig said anxiously, Master, the formation is going to be sealed. I don't know when it will open after it's sealed. Qin Fen didn't dare to hesitate anymore, and jumped into the formation. At the same time, his voice echoed in the empty space. I'll go in and take a look. You guys guard the Divine Land. While everyone was still in a daze, the white light from the formation flashed and disappeared. There was nothing in the void in front of him, as if the formation had never appeared in the first place. Oh no, the formation is gone. Sigh. If I had known, I would have followed sect leader Qin into the formation. That's an immortal supreme plane. While everyone was shaking their heads and sighing, Qin Fen had already been in the teleportation formation for some time. He realized that the shock wave from this formation was not strong. Any martial artist who had entered the inner chi stage would be able to withstand it. Buzz! That strange energy wave suddenly disappeared, and Qin Fen's feet finally felt the ground. The surroundings were shrouded in celestial mist, and the spiritual energy was extremely dense. Qin Fen's heart sank. He was now certain that the formation that appeared at the Divine Continent's Fire Beacon City was indeed teleporting to the Immortal Island. Master, there's a change on Immortal Island. Little Pig's voice suddenly appeared in his mind. Qin Feng stared blankly. He once again sensed the spirit chi around him, and examined the surrounding terrain. Sure enough, he found something fishy. What's going on? Why do I see so many places in China? Qin Fen used the talisman of clairvoyance to see the scene hundreds of kilometers away. This immortal island was not completely shrouded in immortal mist, and there were actually many areas that could be seen at a glance. Little Pig's expression was incomparably grave. Master, this is bad. I'm afraid the loosening of the formation this time isn't that simple. Qin Fen had long sensed the danger. This time, he felt that the situation was more serious than he imagined. Speak clearly, what happened? Little Pig quickly said. Master, the plain formation of China has completely loosened, and it has now merged with the Immortal Island. The Immortal Island merged with China? This news shocked Qin Fun. It's over. Does this mean that the secular world of China has also been merged? Qin Fun immediately thought of a more serious problem. If the secular world of China was also merged, then the end of humanity on Earth was imminent. Those ordinary people, and inner chi stage martial artists, had no way of surviving on the Xiuxian continent. Currently, it looks like the secular world of China hasn't been merged. But this time, the formation leading to the secular world has also loosened. Logically speaking, it will be merged sooner or later, Little Pig said. After some understanding, Qin Fun realized the danger brought about by the loosening of the formation. This was a moment of destruction for the entire Earth. Brat, hurry up and take out whatever treasures you have on you. We can spare your life. Just as Qin Fun was thinking, two black figures leaped out of the forest. Qin Fun didn't know where he was. He was in a dense forest, and he could feel many dangerous presences hidden in the surroundings. Qin Fun looked at the two people. They were wearing the same black robes, and there was a pattern of the 8 trigrams formation on their clothes. This was the Immortal Island. Any random person who appeared was a powerful cultivator of the Immortal Chi realm. Although Qin Fun had already stepped into the Immortal Chi realm, he couldn't see through the two people's strength. I'm a disciple of the Tai sect. I advise you not to act recklessly. Qin Fun remembered that he met Zhang Bing of the Tai sect on the Immortal Island, so he tried his luck to scare the two people. However, the two people were stunned at first, then they laughed. Haha, you ignorant brat, you don't even have a little common sense, yet you dare to brag. This is the North Sand continent. The Tai sect you mentioned is in the South Plateau continent. Do you think we're stupid? Cut the crap. Hurry up and hand over your treasures, or we'll kill you right away. The two people looked at Qin Fun with disdain. Qin Fun didn't know much about the situation on the Immortal Island. This was the first time he heard of the North Sand continent and the South Plateau continent. Are you sure you want to rob me? Qin Fun's face suddenly turned cold. The two people were a little scared. They were only at the stage 3 Immortal Chi realm. In the vast divine continent, they were like ants. So what if we want to rob you? You're only at the stage 2 Immortal Chi realm. Do you think we're afraid of you? One of them mustered up his courage and shouted. The other person added, look carefully. We're disciples of the 8 trigrams school. We have an immortal venerable at the peak of the stage 9 Immortal Chi realm. We can destroy an ant like you with one finger. Qin Fun ignored the two people's threats. Don't talk nonsense. Now, only the two of you are in front of me. Do you think I'm afraid of you? The two people were stunned and looked at Qin Fun in a daze. They could tell that Qin Fun was just an ant at the stage 2 Immortal Chi realm. They didn't know where this brat got his arrogance from. Brat, since you don't know what's good for you, I'll fulfill your wish. One of them lost his patience and suddenly punched at Qin Fun. Rumble. Suddenly a strong wind blew. The punch looked like it was going to shatter a mountain. Wherever the wind from the punch landed, a row of tall trees fell. Qin Fun had already dodged. The ground where he had been standing was now a huge pit. The man didn't stop. With a light leap, he crossed the distance of more than 10 meters and punched Qin Fun again. Brat, aren't you very arrogant? If you have the guts, don't run. Rumble. It looked like a simple punch, but when it landed, another group of trees collapsed. Qin Fun could only dodge. It was difficult for him to even fight back. However, not long after, the 8 trigram school disciple caught up to Qin Fun. This time, he punched several times in a row, blocking Qin Fun's path. Haha, let's see where you can run now. The man laughed as if he could already see Qin Fun being sent flying. Qin Fun landed on a big tree. He really couldn't run anymore. Just as the huge punch was about to explode on his body, a ferocious roar was heard. A huge monster descended from the sky. Rumble. Several punches landed on the huge monster's body, creating a dull sound like a train crash. However, there were no wounds or bloodstains on the monster's body. Not even a small crack could be seen. Roar roar. The monster that descended from the sky was the Grade 1 astral beast Asla. It roared and charged at the 8 trigram school disciple, shocking him. What seemed like a distance of several dozen meters was covered by Asla in 2 leaps. It raised its head and roared into the sky. Its tail whipped up a strong wind and a huge wave, breaking the disciple's body in half at the waist. Rumble! This attack caused a huge commotion, and a row of trees fell. The other 8 trigram school disciple was stunned. He even forgot to run. Qianfen leaped onto Asla's shoulder, looked down at the disciple on the ground, and said, "If you want to live, answer a few questions of mine." The disciple's strength was not as strong as the senior brother, who had his waist broken. At this moment, he had no strength to fight back. His head nodded like a chick pecking at grains. Hero, may I ask? What's your name? Where are you from? Qianfen went straight to the point. Little brother is 8 trigram school's outer disciple Zhangwen. What is this place? Qianfen continued to ask. Zhangwen was stunned. He looked at Qianfen dumbly. Hero, this is the Divine Supreme Continent. Divine Supreme Continent? Isn't this the Immortal Island? Qianfen muttered in his heart. Little Pig's voice sounded in his mind. Master, the Immortal Island is only one of the many immortal supreme realms. Rumor has it that a long time ago, there was only one immortal supreme realm in the world. Later, a huge war broke the realm apart, and many immortal supreme realms appeared. And the only immortal supreme realm was the Divine Supreme Continent. Qianfen was stunned. He realized that his vision was still too low. How did the Immortal Island suddenly become the Divine Supreme Continent? Little Pig said uncertainly. I think it has something to do with the formation loosening not long ago. I'm afraid that someone reunited all the scattered realms. The Divine Supreme Continent and the Immortal Island are both parts of the Divine Supreme Continent, and now they're fused together. If what Little Pig said was true, Qianfen could not imagine how powerful the almighty being who united the realms was. Hero, seeing that Qianfen did not move for a long time, Zhangwen cautiously reminded him. Of course I know this is the Divine Supreme Continent. Let me ask you, where exactly is this area? Also, tell me the area and cultivation realms of the Divine Supreme Continent in detail, Qianfen quickly said. Chapter 1508. Zhangwen said, Hero, there are 4 continents in the Divine Supreme Continent. Eastfield Continent, West Sea Continent, South Flat Continent, and North Sand Continent. The 4 continents all occupy vast areas, and their territories are boundless. According to the density of spiritual energy, the Eastfield Continent is the most suitable for cultivation. It's known as a paradise for cultivators. Next is the West Sea Continent, South Flat Continent. As for the North Sand Continent, the environment is the worst. It's not suitable for cultivation. Zhangwen was afraid that Qianfen would be unhappy, so he explained in detail. Qianfen was shocked. The North Sand Continent was the worst place for cultivation in the entire Divine Continent, but the spiritual energy here was 10 times denser than in the Divine Land. Zhangwen continued. The Divine Supreme Continent starts with the Immortal Qi Realm. Above that, there are the Sage King Realm, Buddha Light Realm, True Spirit Realm, Void God Realm, True God Realm, and so on. Qianfen already knew that there was the Sage King Realm above the Immortal Qi Realm, but it was his first time hearing that there were so many realms above the Sage King Realm. He felt more and more insignificant. At the same time, he was worried about a problem. The Immortal Island was originally filled with Immortal Qi Realm cultivators. Now that the Divine Supreme Continent was merged, could there be Sage King, or even Buddha Light Realm cultivators? Who's the strongest cultivator in the Divine Supreme Continent? What realm is he at now? Qianfen asked. 8 trigram school's Zhangwen's expression turned serious, his eyes filled with respect. Rumor has it that it's the Divine Supreme Master of the Kobe School in the Eastfield Continent, Void God King. No one knows what realm he's at, but rumor has it that he broke through the True Spirit Realm and entered the Void God Realm. Qianfen was amazed. He was only at the 2nd stage of Immortal Qi Realm. He was still 4 levels away from the Void God Realm. He didn't know when he'd reach that realm. Qianfen asked Zhangwen many more questions. He had a basic understanding of the Divine Supreme Continent. There were many sects and experts here. It was a plane that focused on cultivation. There were many powerful cultivators on the Divine Supreme Continent. There were many experts who could cross realms. It was unlike the secular world of China, or the Divine Land, where cultivators of the same realm existed. The more he learned about the Divine Supreme Continent, the more Qin Feng was worried. Now that the Divine Continent had been merged, the disciples of the Thousand Shadows sect and the Spirits sect were all on this continent. However, their strength had not even reached the immortal Qi realm. Right now the odds were against them. Su Ruoro, Lin Bei, and the other women had also come to the Divine Continent. This made Qin Feng anxious. After Zhang Wen was released by Qin Feng, Little Pig's voice sounded. Master, you can't be impatient right now. You have to think of a way to gain a foothold on the Divine Supreme Continent. Qin Feng gradually calmed down. He was a very adaptable man. Now that the formation leading to the Divine World was sealed, he would not be able to leave this place for a while. Since that was the case, he planned to make a breakthrough as soon as possible. Only then would he be able to protect Lin Bei, the girls, Qing Chun and his other friends. Bitch, where are you going? Hee. The two of you won't be able to escape. You'd better obediently obey me. Qin Feng was walking aimlessly on the road. He wanted to find a secluded place with abundant spiritual qi to cultivate for a few days. Suddenly, he heard a burst of evil laughter. In the depths of the forest, Qin Feng saw 4 strong men chasing after 2 women. The 2 women's clothes were a little unique. Short pants and short sleeves did not seem to be the style of the people here. They were running towards Qin Feng anxiously. When they reached Qin Feng, they suddenly froze on the ground. Sob, Qin Feng, is that really you? Qin Feng, where is this? The Immortal Island seems to have changed. The 2 women being chased were Lin Bei and Han Ying. They were only at stage 6 inner qi. In the Divine Supreme Continent, they were not even cannon fodder. Qin Feng was pleasantly surprised. He did not expect to meet the 2 women here. He was just thinking about how to find them. Bei, Ying, it's fine now. Where are Ruoro and the others? Qin Feng hugged the 2 women in his arms. It was the warmth of a reunion in a foreign land. Before the 2 women could reply, a wave of cursing came first. Stinking brat, where did you come from? Seeing that you're only at stage 2 immortal qi, I advise you to be smart and scram. Otherwise, I'll make your head roll on the ground. The 4 strong men had already rushed over. Han Ying and Lin Bei were so scared that they trembled. Qin Feng's eyes were filled with fire. He shielded the 2 women behind him and quickly scanned the 4 men. Among the 4 men, 2 were at stage 2 immortal qi, and the other 2 were at stage 3. Qin Feng felt helpless. He realized how powerful the Divine Supreme Continent was. He had to break through as soon as possible. You dare to bully my women? You must be tired of living. Even though the other party was stronger than him, Qin Feng did not give in. The 4 men's expressions turned cold. They did not care about Qin Feng at all. Among them, the 2 with stage 2 immortal qi directly swung their broadswords at him. They did not even bother to talk nonsense. Rumble. Saber qi surged. Just the pressure alone was enough to make the 2 women faint. Qin Feng stood in front of them like a mountain. When he opened his eyes, 2 balls of purple fire shot out, instantly forming a sea of fire in midair. Rumble! Amidst the loud explosion, the 2 stage 2 immortal qi cultivators were caught off guard. The broadswords in their hands were instantly burned to ashes. Their expressions changed as they realized the power of the purple cloud immortal fire. However, they could not dodge in time. The flames burned their bodies, turning them into ashes in an instant. The atmosphere instantly froze. The 2 stage 3 immortal qi cultivators' eyes fell to the ground. They did not expect Qin Feng to be able to kill 2 of their companions in an instant. You brat, you're courting death. Attack together. Kill this guy and play with his women. The 2 men quickly regained their senses. Even though they had witnessed Qin Feng's power, they still did not care about him. At the end of the day, Qin Feng was only a stage 2 immortal qi cultivator. With 2 stage 3 immortal qi cultivators working together, how could they be afraid of Qin Feng? Rumble! In the blink of an eye, the sky was filled with saber light. The 2 men were clearly much stronger than the 2 men who had died. Qin Feng could not help but raise his eyebrows. He did not take the two's saber-chi head-on. With a thought, a black shadow descended from the sky. The person had gray hair and wore beast skin clothes. He carried a huge cannon in his right arm. This appearance was really out of the ordinary in the divine continent. The two men were stunned on the spot. "Old man, where did you come from?" "We are disciples of the celestial crane mountain. I advise you to get lost." The two men could feel Huang Zhong's power, but they still pretended to be calm in an attempt to scare him away. Huang Zhong had already landed on the ground. His expression was cold as he stared at the two men. "You dared to hurt my lord? Die." As soon as he finished speaking, he suddenly raised the cannon in his hand. A loud explosion sounded. Two cannonballs shot out like flying arrows. The two men did not even know what was going on before they were blasted into smithereens. Rumble! The sound of the cannon's explosion did not stop. Huang Zhong killed two stage 3 immortal chi cultivators with a raise of his hand. Then he stood at the side as if nothing had happened, waiting for Qin Feng's orders. Han Ying and Lin Bei were dumbfounded. They didn't know where this strange-looking old man had come from. However, the two women realized that this person seemed to be Qin Feng's subordinate. This calmed them down a little. Qin Feng knew how powerful giant demon cannon Huang Zhong was. He and Asla were both comparable to stage 4 immortal chi cultivators. They could easily deal with stage 3 immortal chi cultivators. Qin Feng recalled Huang Zhong back into the system with his thoughts, and went to the two women. "Where are Ruo and the rest?" The two women became nervous. Han Ying said, "Qin Feng, Bei and I went to China with Ruo and the rest a few days ago. Then we went to your secret base, Immortal Island. In the end, Ruo and the rest found that the transportation formation on Immortal Island could not be used anymore. Everyone was trapped inside. Then, Immortal Island shook as if the world was going to collapse. Then Bei and I appeared here. We don't know where Ruo and the rest are." Hearing Han Ying's narration, Qin Feng was anxious. Now that China and Immortal Island had merged, it probably merged with mini Immortal Realm to form the current divine continent. The weakest person on this mainland was at least stage 1 Immortal Chi. Outsiders like Qin Feng were basically at the true Chi stage. There were even some inner Chi stage, and ordinary people from the Huaxia secular world. Qin Feng didn't dare to waste any more time. He had to find Su Ruo, Hua Xiaozhen, and Zhao Lingxian immediately. "Little pig, why hasn't the Heroes Alliance's communication function been restored?" Qin Feng asked. "Master, when you first entered the Divine Great Land, the magnetic field was different from the one in China's secular world. That's why your communication was disrupted. Now that the Divine Supreme continents have merged, the magnetic field is even more chaotic. I'm afraid the communication function won't be back up for a while," Little Pig said helplessly. Qin Feng couldn't wait for the communication function to automatically recover. "Is there a way to quickly recover it?" "Master can spend 300,000 Hedonist points to forcefully repair it." The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. This price was really expensive, but the current situation was urgent, and he didn't have time to think about it. Ding! Host Qin Feng has spent 300,000 Hedonist points to forcefully restore the Hero Alliance's communication function. Please wait for a moment. It is estimated that the host will recover completely in 10 minutes. A system notification sounded out. Qin Feng looked at his Hedonist points and found that he only had 535,000 Hedonist points left. 10 minutes passed quickly. The system notification sounded again, informing Qin Feng that the Hero Alliance's communication function had recovered. Qin Feng became excited and immediately shouted into the Hero Alliance, "Ruo, Ling Xian Xiaozhen, can you hear me?" Instantly, the Hero Alliance was in an uproar. "Young Master Qin, is that you? Why is the Hero Alliance's communication function broken?" "Boss, I'm Lu Jia. Where are you now?" A strange formation appeared in China's secular world, and my brothers and I were teleported here. It feels really powerful here. "Qin Feng, I'm Xiao Yao. I'm in China, but China seems to have changed. Holy shit, the people here are so fierce. I just saw a group of people fighting in the sky. "Qin Feng, I'm Ruo. We're in trouble." Chapter 1509. Qin Feng almost fainted. He realized a very serious problem. All his women seemed to have come to the divine supreme continent. Even Lu Jie and Longhair's friends were there. Damn it! Why did you guys go to China? Qin Feng cursed. Lu Jie said foolishly. Didn't a strange formation appear in the secular world of Huaxia? Everyone is thinking that it can lead to the extinction gate. Boss, you're getting stronger and stronger after going to the extinction gate. You can't just care about yourself and stop us from becoming stronger, right? By the way, boss, I've brought my sisters-in-law with me this time. Come and find us. You can reward me well. Lu Jie and the others had no idea what was going on. Qin Feng was about to die from anger. If Lu Jie was next to him, Qin Feng would have flattened him with a flying kick. After talking for a while, Qin Feng confirmed one thing. His women and friends were all in the divine supreme continent. Not only that, but many martial artists from the secular world of China also came. However, there was something that made Qin Feng heave a sigh of relief. These people were all in the northern sand continent. Otherwise, Qin Feng wouldn't know where to find them. Lu Jie, Longhair, Yunzhe, you guys go to the Celestial Souls sect now. I'll meet up with everyone there. Before I go to the Celestial Souls sect, don't go anywhere. The divine supreme continent is full of powerful people. I'm just cannon fodder. Qin Feng had to tell the truth. Otherwise, Lu Jie and the others would be too arrogant. After his speech, the Hero Alliance suddenly quieted down. Everyone finally realized how powerful the divine supreme continent was. Even Qin Feng couldn't protect himself. Young Master Qin, don't worry. I'll go find my sisters-in-law and brothers now. Then we'll go hide in the Celestial Souls sect. Lu Jie quickly became serious. Qin Feng didn't know where Lu Jie and the others were. He could only tell them to be careful. After arranging everyone, Qin Feng immediately talked to Su Ruoro alone. He found out that Su Ruoro and the others were together and were teleported to Scarlet Street Market. Coincidentally, there was a sect recruiting disciples there. An elder from the Hunyuan sect was interested in Zhao Lingxian's natural charm and Su Ruoro's Coldine body. He wanted to take the two women into the Hunyuan sect. The two women realized how powerful the other was and didn't dare to refuse. They could only go with the Hunyuan elder's wishes. Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief after learning about the situation. Since the divine supreme continent's local sects were protecting the three women, it meant that they were temporarily safe. Qin Feng, what should we do now? We have to save Ruoro and the others. Lin Bei Bei was so worried that tears welled up in her eyes. Qin Feng hugged her and said, "Of course we have to save them. Let's go to Red Street Market right now and think of a way to take Ruoro and the others away." Although he wanted to go to the Scarlet Street Market to look for the three women, the divine continent was so vast that he had no idea where the Scarlet Street Market was. He had no idea where the Scarlet Street Market was. The three of them hurried through the night. Just as they walked out of the huge forest, they saw a group of people hurrying along not far away. There were about 50 to 60 people in the crowd, and they were divided into more than 10 groups. Qin Feng hurriedly observed them. Most of them were at Tier 2 or 3 Immortal Energy Realm. There were also a few Tier 4 Immortal Energy Realm experts. "Little brother, are you going to Scarlet Street Market as well?" Suddenly, a middle-aged man came over with a good-looking woman by his side. The middle-aged man stepped into the 3rd level of Immortal Energy, while the woman beside him was at the 2nd level of Immortal Energy. Qin Feng became cautious. "What do you want?" The middle-aged man noticed Qin Feng's coldness and smiled. "Little brother, don't be nervous. If you are also going to Scarlet Street Market to participate in the sex selection, we can form a team." Qin Feng quickly understood this person's thoughts. The journey to Scarlet Street Market would not be short, and he didn't know what they would encounter on the way. Other teams were made up of 4 or 5 people, so they could more or less avoid some trouble. The middle-aged man continued. "My name is Zhang Yan, and this is my wife Bai Lu." Qin Feng said. "These are my 2 wives, Han Ying and Lin Bei Bei." On the divine continent, monogamy was not the norm. Zhang Yan was not surprised that Qin Feng had 2 beautiful wives by his side. The 2 of them chatted and gradually became familiar with each other. Qin Feng asked Zhang Yan about the divine continent, while Lin Beibei and Han Ying chatted happily with Bai Lu. Ever since the five of them formed a team, Qin Feng noticed that there were fewer people secretly watching Han Ying and Lin Beibei. There were also fewer people secretly sizing up Bai Lu. This group of people all hurried to Scarlet Street Market. Qin Feng found out from Zhang Yan that Scarlet Street Market was holding a triennial sex selection. For a month, many sects in the northern sand continent would recruit disciples. Everyone hurried for a whole day, and the sky gradually darkened. More and more people joined the team, and there were already about 100 people. Brother Qin Feng, let's find a place to rest for the night. We'll probably arrive in half a day tomorrow, Zhang Yan said. Qin Feng saw that many people were already resting, but the people here didn't care about the environment and slept on the ground. Qin Feng actually didn't care about this. Sometimes he would cultivate for a few days and nights sitting on the ground. Lin Beibei and Han Ying, on the other hand, were very depressed. Were they going to just lie on the ground and sleep? Moreover, there were unfamiliar men all around them. Hey, you two, come with me. In the dead of night, 4 black figures suddenly leaped to Qin Feng's side. The 4 of them were all tall and burly, and their cold expressions made Han Ying and Lin Beibei nervous. What do you want? Lin Beibei asked carefully. This was because the 4 muscular men were looking for her, and Han Ying. Qin Feng sat next to the 2 girls, but the 4 acted as if they didn't see him. The leader said, "Why are you talking so much? Just follow us, we'll send you back soon." No matter how stupid the 2 girls were, they could tell the intentions of the 4 unfamiliar men, and were instantly enraged. "Get lost, my man is right next to me." Han Ying didn't have Lin Beibei's good temper, and immediately exploded. The 4's expressions became even colder, and they all looked at Qin Feng. Seeing that he was only at Immortal Chi Stage 2, they didn't take him seriously at all. "Stinking brat. Grandpa wants to borrow your woman to have some fun tonight. You don't have any objections, do you?" The leader laughed lightly. Qin Feng had already investigated the 4 people's situations. The man who shouted had the highest realm, at True Chi Stage 4. And the other 3 were at True Chi Stage 3. These 4 people were also the strongest team in the group. During the day, they had robbed a few passers-by, but no one dared to resist. Who would have thought that at night, they would have designs on Qin Feng's woman again? For big brothers, please don't make things difficult for my little brother. I have a few dozen high-grade spirit stones here. Take them all as a token of filial piety. Without waiting for Qin Feng to speak, Zhang Yan suddenly came over with a smiling face. This action surprised Qin Feng. After all, he and Zhang Yan had only known each other for less than a day, and he actually stood up to help at this time. However, the other party clearly didn't give Zhang Yan any face. The leader slapped him. "Damn you, do you think Grandpa is a beggar? A few dozen spirit stones are nothing. Yo, so you also have a wife, let her come with us." Zhang Yan's face instantly turned red and swollen. Anger rose in his heart, but in the end, he didn't let it out. The other party had 3 Immortal Chi Stage 3 and 1 Immortal Chi Stage 4. He wasn't their match at all. Bai Lu hugged Zhang Yan and cried, scolding the 4 men. However, the 4 of them weren't angry at all. Instead, they lustfully stared at her well-developed body. "You 3 stinking women, hurry up, don't be so shameless. If you don't come with us obediently, we'll deal with you right here." The 4 of them were extremely arrogant, and the 3 women were so angry that tears fell from their eyes. Just as Zhang Yan was about to fight with his life, Qin Feng stood up coldly. "I'll go with you." The 4 of them were stunned. After coming back to their senses, they glared at him in disdain. "Are you fucking crazy? I play with women, who plays with you?" Qin Feng didn't care about their words. He lowered his voice and said, "I have a flying sword on me. In exchange for the safety of my 2 wives and my friend's wife. How about that?" The 4's eyes lit up. With their status, they didn't even think about flying swords. The leader's expression quickly turned cold. "Stinking brat, you dare to trick me? Are you tired of living?" Without waiting for them to attack, Qin Feng continued. "Why would I lie to you? I'll go with you alone. If I'm lying, It won't be too late for you to kill me. His words were very reasonable, and the four of them started to hesitate. Big brother, let's just take him to the side to have a look. It won't delay us anyways, one of them said. The other three immediately understood what he meant. Regardless of whether Qin Feng had a flying sword or not, they would come back and take the three women away afterward. Okay, come with us now. If you dare to lie, I'll make your head roll. The four of them had already turned and walked towards the desolate land in the distance. Lin Bei and Zhang Yin looked at him worriedly. Everyone don't worry. I'll be right back. Qin Feng didn't explain further. Without waiting for them to speak, his figure disappeared into the night. After walking for a full 10 minutes, the five of them arrived at the foot of an uninhabited mountain peak. The four men couldn't wait any longer. The leader immediately yelled, "Stinking brat, where's the flying sword? Hurry and take it out." Qin Feng looked at him, as if he was looking at an idiot. What flying sword? Did I say I was going to give you a flying sword? The four men's expressions changed drastically. They glared at him fiercely. Brat, do you really want to die? I'll give you 3 seconds. If you can't take out a flying sword by then, I'll let you fly. Facing the four men's threats, Qin Feng's expression was indifferent as usual. Then I'll also give you 3 seconds to atone for your crimes. Immediately kneel and apologize to my wife and friends. I'll leave your corpses intact. Qin Feng's expression was serious. He didn't seem to be joking. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.